You're listening to Reading Fightin' Phils Baseball on the Our Phils Radio Network. Now, out to the ballpark with your broadcasters, Bob McCool and Jake Starr.
Everyone, and welcome to FirstEnergy Stadium. We are live just inside Tompkins Plaza. The gates are open. Baseball coming your way here in Baseball Town. Coming up at 6:45, Game 3 of this 6-game series between the New Hampshire Fisher Cats and the Reading Fightin' Phils. New Hampshire's won the first two. The Fisher Cats are now 21-29. In the second half, the Phils are at 25-28. Alongside my broadcast partner, Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. And we're joined tonight by Nick Ward, who's been a part of the Reading Fightin' Phils now for the last several weeks after his call-up from Jersey Shore. And if you've been listening to Jake and I talk during our broadcasts on the Reading Phils Radio Network, you know he's also a hometown kid. Joel grew up just down the road a piece in Westchester. So, Nick, this really is a homecoming for you to be a part of the Phillies organization. After your call-up from Jersey Shore, you get even closer to home. This has to be just a really cool time for you right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of I've been floating on cloud nine ever since I signed with the Phillies in December. So obviously I was hoping to start the year here, but when that wasn't in the cards any longer, just tried to earn my way up here and getting to play super close to home. I haven't had that chance since I was at Westchester in college. So this is pretty special, as you can probably imagine.
I'm sure obviously you spent a lot of time going to Phillies games in Philadelphia. How much did you get a chance to come here to Reading growing up in Westchester?
So I actually gave my dad a ton of grief for that because growing up diehard Phillies fans, and he taught me the game by taking me to Veterans Stadium in Citizens Bank Park and watching the games at home, but we never made it to Reading to this stadium to watch a minor league game. And the first time I set foot in this stadium was when I played, and it was odd, but it felt that much more special. It was like, wow, I've always put this place up on a pedestal, same with Lehigh Valley and obviously Philadelphia, but actually getting to play here for the first time, and my first time walking in the stadium was absolutely surreal.
And you walk through the halls here and you see Mike Schmidt, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, Ryan Howard. You're in the same clubhouse that all of those guys step foot in. It's got to feel really cool to be playing on the same field and walk through the same halls that a lot of the guys that, you know, all of us kind of grew up watching.
Without a doubt. I mean, Chase Utley was my favorite player, still is my favorite player, even though he's been retired for a few years now. But yeah, I mean, it's super cool. I get to come to work every day at the same place that the people I grew up idolizing went to work every day for a few years when they were still in the minor leagues, even though that wasn't for very long for some of those guys. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I kind of have to pinch myself sometimes.
So do you give your dad a lot of grief, or does your dad have a lot of apologies for never bringing you here?
He hasn't said sorry once. But luckily for me that we are so close to home that pretty much every day that my name is penciled in the lineup by Al, my dad can take the 45-minute to an hour drive and he's here. So, and coincidentally enough, he retired at the end of July, so he's got a little bit of time on his hands now, and instead of driving my mom crazy, he decides to come to Reading.
So take us back to the offseason, take us back to the winter when you signed with the Phillies. How did all that kind of transpire?
Yeah, so in 2022 I was playing independent ball in the Frontier League, which I had done for that was my, I guess, technically second season, but I got an offer to play in Australia with the Adelaide Giants, and our manager in Adelaide is a coach with the Phillies. He was our bench coach in Jersey Shore, Chris Adamson. So I got to play with him, and then yeah, I basically continued what I was doing in the Frontier League, and I had a great first half of that season, I guess, and I guess we just made it happen. So the Phillies were obviously, Tank was the guy who was the main communication between the Phillies and myself, so he kind of attached his name to mine, and the Phillies ended up buying my contract in the middle of December from the Washington Wild Things, and then ever since then I like I said before, I have to remind myself that I have to go to work, but like this doesn't feel like work to me. I get to play for the Phillies and wear a Phillies P technically every single day, which is really, really cool.
You obviously have made the jump to Jersey Shore. You've got a couple guys in that clubhouse now who have made that jump as well. And there's always been a belief in the game of baseball that making that jump from A to AA might be the hardest jump there is, with the exception of obviously the jump you ultimately want to make in the major leagues. Have you noticed that? Do you see that much of a difference? And what has that jump been like for you?
So I'll start by saying all the guys in that clubhouse, the coaching staff, everybody involved have made that transition for me a lot easier than it otherwise might have been if those guys weren't who they are and how great they are as people and as players, coaches, support staff, whatever that might be. So they've made it a lot easier on me for my transition, but the play on the field obviously is the biggest jump. And a lot of us say in the clubhouse, like, if you can play in AA and you can have a lot of success here, you can do it in the big leagues without a doubt, right? So, yeah, like, I mean, it's the difference between high A and AA. It's not very glaring, like it's not terribly apparent, but all the pitchers on the mound, all of their stuff is much better, and some of them, they don't necessarily throw harder, but they can put it wherever they want, and like they'll expose you if you're not prepared. So I think for me, it's skill-wise, it hasn't been a huge jump, but it's more of like a mental jump, and a preparation jump that's the biggest adjustment, because I mean it's the same game. It's still 60 feet 6 inches to the pitcher's mound and 90 feet to first base. So it's more of a mental thing than it is an actual physical one. But I will agree that it takes a little bit more. It takes a little bit more to succeed in AA than it does in high A.
And you're certainly well-traveled. You talked about your time playing in Australia. You also played in last year's World Baseball Classic for Team Great Britain. Talk a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so unbelievable, right? I think you're obviously always playing for the name on your chest, not the name on your back. But when you get to represent your family, it becomes a little bit more important, and there's more on the line, right? So there was a much greater sense of pride than getting to wear a Phillies uniform, which kind of says a lot, especially for a guy like myself who gets to play for his hometown team. But getting to represent my family, my mom's side of the family. My dad's family's from England as well, but it was mainly my mom's family, and everything that anyone before me has done for me to just be in this situation and get to play baseball for a living and get to do it every single day was so incredibly special. And yeah, that was something I never thought that I would get the chance to do, but that it was something that I'll remember forever and was incredibly special.
We talk about this a lot in the broadcast, and especially the way the game is being played now. If you only can play one position, you're probably going to be pretty limited. And so they're forcing guys to play a lot more positions. You've predominantly played short and third. Obviously, growing up, you were the shortstop. Now you're playing a lot more third base. Do you have a preference? Do you care? If your name's in the lineup, I don't care where I'm playing as long as my name's in the lineup.
If I get to hit and my name's in the lineup, I could care less what position I play. You know, like in college summer ball in 2017, I played all 8 positions besides I even pitched. I didn't catch. My college coach might have had something to say about that. But yeah, I actually played predominantly left field that summer, and I played a little bit of center field, a little bit of right field, and I played all over the infield. And I think like one of the guys I used to work out with in the off season, Joey Wendell, who Al Padrique coached when he was with the Marlins. He always said to me, he's like, you have to be able to play all over the field, especially like if you're not the first round, second round pick, and you're not going to be a guy, right? A third, especially, it's hard to be an everyday guy in the big leagues, right? So if you're not that first round pick, you have to make yourself valuable somewhere, right? And obviously what you do with the bat is going to keep your name in the lineup, and they'll find a position for you, and the more positions you can play, the more opportunities you're going to have to be on the field.
Just to follow up on that, we had Madison Stokes on the show earlier in the year and talking about that, because he's played everything here but pitcher and catcher, and he says he is chomping at the bit to put the gear on the plate to catch.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Absolutely. If my name is penciled in that lineup and I see a 2 next to it, give me the gear, boys. Let's go. I don't necessarily think the pitchers would be too thrilled about that, but you know, if it came down to it, and God forbid injuries happen, I hope that doesn't happen. But if it happens, I'll be the first to say, Al, put me back there. Let's go.
So a couple quick ones for me real quick. So you spent your first year at VCU, then you go to Westchester. What was kind of the process when you decided to transfer out of VCU and go to Westchester that landed you at, a school closer to home?
So out of high school, I was basically between two schools. It was either VCU, which I ended up going to my freshman year, or Westchester. So once I decided that I wanted to transfer, I knew where I wanted to go right away. So it was actually pretty easy, right? So all I had to do was technically get my release from VCU to be able to talk to whatever school I wanted to. And it's not that I didn't entertain any other options that I would have had or I did have, but I knew I wanted to play baseball at Westchester. So it was a pretty easy decision for me.
And of course won a national championship as well with the Golden Rams. So last one for me, as you kind of look ahead, 2.5 weeks left this year, then you have an off season ahead of you and next year. What are some short and long term goals you have?
Obviously I'd love to be back with the Phillies and play in the big leagues with the Phillies, right? Like that's been my 5-year-old me dream, right? But I'm going to go back to Australia this winter and continue to play. Like those at bats over the off season are pretty invaluable. Like I can step back into spring training and I can be much more prepared than I would hitting inside in freezing cold Pennsylvania in December and January, trying to do my best to be ready for spring. But so I haven't thought too far ahead. I think if I think that far ahead, I might stress myself out a little bit. But knowing me, I probably will. But just trying to take it one day at a time and not get too far ahead of myself.
Obviously, the ultimate goal would be playing in Citizens Bank Park with a P on your jersey. But if it's with a different jersey on, you'll still take that trade somehow anyway.
I will. Yeah, I will. I think, obviously, as baseball players, we're always looking for the best opportunity for ourselves, right? But in the same breath, it's kind of a weird thing, right? Because you're always playing for the name that's on your chest, but as a professional, as an individual, you want the best opportunity for yourself, right? So it's kind of a it's a double-sided question or a double-edged sword kind of thing. So yeah, I would take that, and being on a 1-year contract, if a better opportunity is somewhere else, then I'd have to explore that too. But if the Phillies come back and say, hey, we want you back, the other team's gonna have to make a pretty sweet offer to lure me away from the Phils.
Fair enough. We hope that is not the case. Nick Ward joining us on a pregame show. We're going to take a timeout. We come back on the Reading Fightin' Phils Radio Network. We'll have lineups and first pitch right after this with the Phils and the Fisher Cats.
We're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Nathan Fair.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to FirstEnergy Stadium. The Reading Fightin' Phils, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, getting set to go after one another for Game 3 of this 6-game stand here in Baseball Town. Fisher Cats won the first two, 6-3 on Tuesday night, 5-3 last night. Phils will try to get back into winning ways with Game 3 tonight. The Fisher Cats are now 21-29. The Phils falling to 3 games under 500 at 25-28 in the second half. Alongside my broadcast partner Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. Let's take a look at the Golden Oaks Landscaping starting lineup for the visiting Fisher Cats. Alan Roden, as he has been all throughout the series, right back in the leadoff spot for New Hampshire. Devontae Brown bats in a 2-hole tonight Miguel Geraldo in the 3 spot. Damiano Pimigiani will be the designated hitter tonight for New Hampshire, and he bats cleanup. Will Robertson bats 5th, Rainer Nunez 6th, Andres Sosa will bat 7th, Michael Turconi will bat 8th, and in the 9 spot tonight is Riley Terada. That lineup facing right-handed pitcher for the Fightins, Zach Hockey.
Zach Hockey, start number 8, appearance number 9, 1-4, a 5.67 ERA, 33 1/3 innings pitched, 34 hits allowed, just 9 walks to 33 strikeouts for Zach Hockey with Reading. Last time out against Harrisburg, earned his first win in a Reading uniform, and really his first solid start for him since July 23rd at Altoona. Last week, 5 innings, 2 hits, a run, and 5 strikeouts. So the conversation with Mick Abel last night was, could he build off a strong start at Harrisburg? He did that. Now the conversation is the same for Zach Hockey. Look for him to build off last week's really strong start.
Our game time temperature for tonight is 70 degrees. Winds are whipping around here over the course of this afternoon. Right now it's blowing straight in from left field at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And our game time weather brought to you by EPAW Weather Consulting, source for public and private forecasts in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and northern and eastern Maryland. Zach Hockey starts Alan Roden with a called first strike. By the way, my colleague Jake Starr says this is the nicest day of the year weather-wise we've had all season long.
I mean, everyone who I say that to, I've been saying it all day, happens to agree with me, including the skipper, Al Patrique.
I think it's too cold.
Too cold? It's 75.
Nah, it's 70 degrees.
I watched a 75 and sunny.
It's a nice night. It's also no balls and 2 strikes as Zach Hockey's gotten things off to a good start. He is quickly worked ahead of Alan Roden, who's hitting at .311. Left-hand hitter stands in, takes the 0-2 pitch up and in ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The defense behind Zach Hockey. Baron Radcliffe is in left field. Madison Stokes is in center. Jalen Ortiz is in right. Carlos De La Cruz is at first. Oliver Dunn is again at second. Casey Martin again at short. Madison Stokes is at third base tonight. And Herbert Iser back behind the plate as this one is tapped back up the middle. Oliver Dunn ranges to his right, and the second baseman will throw it in plenty of time for out number 1.
Nice job. Quick and efficient first batter. Got a slow ground ball to Oliver Dunn, who makes a good play. Like you said, Herbert Iser gets to start behind the plate tonight. His first start in a little bit was activated off the development list yesterday. A little catcher-for-catcher swap on the dev list with Max McDowell.
Devontae Brown bats. Brown just called up from Vancouver before yesterday's game. Was just activated on the Fisher Cats roster after the call-up and played in last night's game. And the first pitch he saw, lined it in the left center field gap for a double. He ended up going 1 for 3 in last night's game. And batting in the 2-hole tonight, takes 1 for a called strike. Takes the second one for a called strike, too. So Zach Hockey has come out and throwing strikes so far in this first inning. He's quickly ahead of Devontae Brown. No balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that takes care of Devontae Brown.
Really nice off-speed pitch from Zach Hockey. Kind of started it, towards knee high, and it fell right off the table and gets a swing and a miss for strike number 3.
That'll bring up Miguel Geraldo, who had a hit in the first at-bat he had in this series. Hasn't had a hit since. He is now 1 for 9 in the series. Still hitting at .276 on the season. 12 home runs and 52 RBIs. First pitch to him from Hockey is outside. Geraldo, 22 years of age. Spent almost the entire season last year with Vancouver. Hit .231 with 11 home runs. He's obviously done much better than that here at AA as he fouls this one down the third base line. He's fielded on a couple of hops by his manager, Cesar Martin, who will toss it into the 67 club and turn it into a souvenir. Zach Hockey now has the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Hockey, 26-year-old right-hander, originally from Belleville, Illinois. This one tapped towards third. Madison Stokes up with it across the diamond in plenty of time, and a smooth top half of the first for Zach Hockey and the Fightins as the Cats go 1-2-3. Reading will bat for the first time when we come back to Baseball Town.
Gear up for Fightin' Phil's season. Visit the Brentwood Industries Fightin' Phil's team store at FirstEnergy Stadium or check out our online store 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at rphils.com/shop. We have a wide variety of Fightin' Phil's hats, t-shirts, kids apparel, and more. Looking for something new? Check out our latest selections of Los Luchadores de Reading and Reading Hot Dogs gear. Plus, throwback, black, R-Train, R-Phil's attire. Root for your Fightins in style. Stop by the Brentwood Industries Fightins team store or rphils.com/shop.
ROG Orthodontics is the proud official partner of the ROG Orthodontics Fightin' Phil's Kids Club. Join today at Fightins.com to get your free ROG Orthodontics Kids Club t-shirt and visit FantasticSmiles.com for more information on why ROG Orthodontics is voted #1 in Berks and Monco. ROG Orthodontics and the Fightin' Phils, two great hometown partners.
Fans, nothing beats a great day at Golden Oaks Golf Club. Located just minutes from Reading, Golden Oaks is a beautiful, award-winning golf course open to the public with perfect greens, lush fairways, and a course playing for 5 sets of tees. Bogey's Pub is open to the public with the area's best full-course menu, featuring indoor and outdoor seating and TVs to watch your favorite sports teams. Let the Golden Oaks Golf Club team cater to your need. Lunch, dinner, golf outings, parties, company events, and fundraisers. Visit our website at GoldenOaksGolfClub.com and follow Golden Oaks Golf Club and Bogey's Pub on Facebook. Golden Oaks Golf Club, where great memories are made.
Our Golden Oaks Landscaping starting lineup for the Fightin' Phils. Madison Stokes is in the leadoff spot tonight for Reading. Carlos De La Cruz bats second. Oliver Dunn will bat third. Jalen Ortiz back in the cleanup spot. Ethan Wilson will be the DH tonight and bat fifth. Baron Radcliffe bats sixth. Casey Martin seventh. Marcus Lee Sang will bat eighth. And batting ninth is the catcher Herbert Iser. That lineup facing right-handed pitcher for the Fisher Cats, C.J. Van Eyck.
C.J. Van Eyck making his Double-A debut today.
1-0 pitch to Madison Stokes is lifted foul and drifting towards the stands and will reach there for a souvenir.
Van Eyck overall this year, with Dunedin, which is single-A, 5 starts, 6 appearances, no decision, a 3.86 ERA, 18 2/3 innings pitched, 12 hits allowed, 6 walks, 22 strikeouts, all in essence in rehab starts. He got Tommy John surgery in September of 2021, did not pitch at all last season.
1-1 pitch to Madison Stokes, back through the box, slowed down by Van Eyck and fielded by the second baseman Miguel Geraldo in time to get Madison Stokes for out number 1.
Spent 2021 with High A Vancouver, 19 starts, a 4-6 record, a 5.83 ERA. Did those strike out 100 hitters across 80 1/3 innings pitched with the Canadians. So, got the surgery, couple starts in the complex league, 6 with Dunedin, and now he gets a chance to showcase what he's got in Double-A.
Against Carlos De La Cruz, who leads the team in home runs after his solo home run in the first last night, his 22nd of the season. Carlos at 266 as he stands in. His lone hit in this series was that home run last night. First pitch from Van Eyck is over for a called strike. The second one is lined into right field for a base hit. Cut off by Alan Roden, but Carlos De La Cruz gets the game's first base hit.
Like I said, no better time than the present for Carlos De La Cruz to get hot. That one was smoked, 103 miles per hour off the bat. And back-to-back nights with well-hit first inning hits for De La Cruz. Also hit number 125 on the season. That leads the Eastern League.
It does indeed, as Oliver Dunn stands in among the Eastern League leaders in RBIs with 77 as he stands in. And he takes the first pitch for a called strike. Carlos De La Cruz will take his lead off of first. Manager Al Padrique, of course, in the third base coaching box. Ray Ricker at the first base box. Talking to De La Cruz as Dunn takes that one up and away, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. That takes us to tonight's team leader, brought to you by Cross Country Mortgage Loan Officer Johanna Arias. And it is the league-leading hitting of Carlos De La Cruz in terms of number of hits. And he's leading by a landslide, 15 between he and number 2 in the hit column in the Eastern League. So Carlos De La Cruz comfortably leading the league in total hits. That's today's cross-country mortgage loan officer, Johanna Arias, our Phil team leader. Contact Johanna at 484-554-9969 or by email at johanna.arias@myccmortgage.com. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Oliver Dunn. Pitch to the lefty is lined into left field. Going back on it is Will Robertson all the way back to the wall. Will make a jump and make the catch right in front of the fence, and Carlos De La Cruz will have to scramble back to first base.
Hit well by Dunn. Looked like the one last homestand where Dunn shot it over the left field fence. Hit it 330 feet. Probably needed about 10 more. to get it over, but nonetheless, still an impressive feat from Dunn. But 2 outs now for Ortiz, who had the night off last night, but swinging a pretty hot bat as of late.
He's 2 for 4 in game 1 of this series with a couple of hits, including a rocket double off the left field wall. And takes that pitch bit outside for a ball. Ortiz at 208 overall in the season, 8 home runs and 32 RBIs and 6 doubles as well, as I said, including the one he had on Tuesday night. And the Cruz at first, 2 outs. 1-0 pitch is inside, ball 2, and it doesn't scamper quite far enough away for De La Cruz to move up. Will Robertson, as we told you on that last fly balls in left field, Devontae Brown in center, Alan Roden is in right. Rainer Nunez is at first, Miguel Gerardo at second, Michael Turconi at short, Riley Tirado at third, and Andre Sosa back behind the plate for a second night in a row for the Fisher Cats. 2-0 pitch, back one hopper right to C.J. Van Eyck. He'll toss it to first, and that will do it for the Phils in inning number 1. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. 1 complete in baseball town. Cats and Phils are scoreless.
Empowering communities one relationship at a time is our commitment at Tompkins. Our customers have thrived thanks to our focus on local lending and their commitment to the customers they serve.
They do a great job, everything for us, from our banking, our insurance, to our wealth management.
Tompkins has always been there for us.
We see a long relationship with Tompkins. They're good people.
Tompkins, banking, insurance, wealth. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Investment and insurance products are not FDIC insured, not bank guaranteed, and may lose value.
Our Phils fans can continue to expect great performances all season long on the Burke's Commercial Roofing stage. It's the home of great local talent, including the Our Phils mascot band. Burke's Commercial Roofing prides itself on being a locally owned and operated company that puts an emphasis on customer service. They provide free on-site estimates and can handle any size repair, restoration, or replacement. Visit burkscommercialroofing.com or call 610-717-3949 for more information. And don't forget to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show at the Burke's Commercial Roofing stage at America's Classic Ballpark.
Burke's Packing is a family-owned and operated meat processor located here in Reading, specializing in hot dogs, ham, specialty meats, and more. Burke's Packing provides America's Classic Ballpark with quality products, including the highly acclaimed flat-top grilled hot dog. Join us for Burke's Packing Sunday Family Fun Days at Sunday home games all season long at FirstEnergy Stadium.
We head to the top of the second inning. We're scoreless with the Phils and the Fisher Cats. Established in 1928, the Manor Golf Club is one of the oldest public courses in eastern Pennsylvania, located conveniently between Philadelphia, Lancaster, and Allentown and Sinking Spring. Manor Golf Club offers a true test of golf on a traditional championship-style golf course where shot making takes precedence over length. Visit themanorgolfclub.com for more information. Zach Hockey back to work and facing Damiano Palmigiani, and the first pitch to Palmigiani is over for a called strike. Hitting at .250 on the season, among the league leaders in home runs with 18 and RBIs with 70. And a big swing, no contact. And again, Zach Hockey working ahead of hitters in the early going, and he's ahead of Palmigiani, no balls and 2 strikes. Palmigiani 4 for 9 so far in this series with a couple of doubles. He's got 25 doubles on the season as well. He's behind the count right now at no balls and 2 strikes. This one driven into left field. Back goes Baron Radcliffe. He will look up and he will say goodbye. An 0-2 pitch, and Damiano Palmigiani deposits it in the left field seats for a 1-0 lead for the Cats.
0-2 fastball that just got way too much of the heart of the plate. And Palmigiani made Hockey pay. 380 feet, 106 off the bat. And Hampshire strikes first tonight to make it 1-0.
6th home run of the season surrendered by Zach Hockey. And I'll bring up Will Robertson, who is hitting at .234 on the season, but he's had a good series so far, 3 for 7 in this series. Left-hander stands in, and he drives one straight up in the air. Jalen Ortiz has to find it. He can't find it, and Oliver Dunn will range out and help him out and make the catch. Heads-up play by the second baseman, Oliver Dunn, to make the catch in shallow right field.
That ball was a mile up, and I don't think Ortiz ever saw it. So a great job by Oliver Dunn. Runs out probably a good 100 feet to, I wouldn't say shallow right field, almost straight away right field. And Makes an impressive catch, but great range from Dunn. He had it sized up the whole way.
That'll bring up Rainer Nunez. Nunez 2 for 8 in this series, 229 on the season. As the right-handed bat stands in, he drives one to Ortiz and over his head and off the wall. Ortiz plays it on a hop, loses his balance, and Nunez will roll into second base as the throw gets away. It will be a double for Rainer Nunez, but if Jalen Ortiz doesn't lose his balance, he may have had a great shot of throwing him out.
I was going to say, I don't think he goes to second if Ortiz doesn't fall down, because I think he was kind of going slow around first because it took a very friendly Reading hop off the wall, but then Ortiz fell down. And even still, if that's a good throw, they might have him.
Instead, it is the 6th double of the season for Nunez. He's now in scoring position with 1 out for Andres Sosa. Sosa 0 for 2 in last night's game, but he did get on base twice, once by way of a walk and the other hit by a pitch. Hitting at .250 on the season, and the right-handed batter takes it for a called strike one. Rainer Nunez takes his lead off of second. Oliver Dunn trying to keep him a little bit close, leading in from second base. Hockey takes a look back, comes with his pitch, swing and miss. And again, he works ahead of a hitter. He says he's ahead of Andres Sosa, no balls and 2 strikes. That's the good news. Of course, he was ahead of Palmigiani, no balls and 2 strikes, and Palmigiani has put the Fisher Cats ahead. 0-2 pitch. This one lined into left field on a broken bat, falling fast. Baron Radcliffe will field it on a hop. Nunez will have to stop at third, but another hit, third of the inning for New Hampshire.
That was one where I thought the bat may went further than the ball for a second, but runner on second, Nunez had to hold up for a moment, so he didn't get a great jump. Cesar Martin, the New Hampshire manager, also coaching third, holds him up at third. So you got runners in the corners, 1 out. Love to try and twist the ground ball double play ball here.
I'll bring up Michael Turconi. Turconi 3 for 6 in this series. A single, a double, and a home run. And takes the first pitch low for a ball. Turconi, another left-handed stick in the Fisher Cat lineup tonight. One of 3 left-handers that Cesar Martin is running out there against the right-hander Zach Hockey. 1-0 pitch. It's low again. It's 2-0.
Isn't it appropriate that on a night where former Flyer Chris Terrian is in the house,
that Zach Hockey is pitching? I was thinking that earlier, yeah. As soon as I said that Zach Hockey was pitching, I'm thinking, well, Chris Terrian threw out the first pitch, so technically there was already a Hockey pitching tonight. 2-0 pitch coming from Zach Hockey, and that's there for a called strike. Chris Terrian with a really interesting story to tell tonight, part of recovery awareness tonight, night here at the ballpark. And we'll have some visitors coming up in our press box, in our radio booth in a little bit to talk a little bit more about it. This one's up high. It's 3-1. Chris Terrian with a book out called The Road to Redemption, and talking very openly about his battles with alcoholism and how he has found recovery and is open to helping others. 3 balls and a strike now to Turconi. And that is just a bit inside. That's ball 4. First walk surrendered by Zach Hockey, and he's got himself in a jam now. Bases loaded and 1 out.
I mean, I don't think Hockey hit his spot there, but it looked like from our vantage point that probably had a bit of the zone. So here comes Brad Bergeson, the pitching coach, to talk to Hockey. Probably just to settle him down some, and at the same time, maybe tell him, hey, like, you hit a good spot. Keep your head up.
Riley Terada is the hitter, and he is the 9-hole hitter for the Fisher Cats. Hockey's had good control in his 8 starts so far. This is 8th start. 33 1/3 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts, and only 9 walks. So the walk he surrenders here now loads the bases. With 1 out in the second, Fisher Cats already with a run across and looking to do more damage on this night and in this series. Phillies will play the infield at double play depth, hoping to get one pitch and get out of here. As the pitch outside from Hockey. So he came out of this game and in this inning throwing nothing but strikes. But suddenly, not so much. He's behind the 9-hole hitter 1-0. That's way inside. It's 2-0. This one lifted foul and out of play. Down the first base line. A little surprised by that. You get the 9-hole hitter up. He just walked the 8-hole hitter, and he misses badly on two straight pitches. That the 9-hole hitter has a green light to swing 2-0.
Certainly an interesting approach. Must have really liked where that pitch was. I mean, it was center cut fastball.
There's a swing and a miss at a high fastball, and now, thanks to that first pitch that last pitch he just swung at, it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Strikeout obviously would be huge for Zach Hockey. The only thing you'd like better than that is a ground ball to the infield. Get 2 and get out. 1 out here in the second. This one is fouled again out of play. It stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, I agree with you in the sense that it's a pitch to hit. If you're hitting in the 2 spot, you're hitting in the 3 spot, you're hitting in the 4 spot, I think you should be swinging. If you're hitting in the 9 spot, I think you should be taking. But that's just me. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's a bit low, and now the count is full. So obviously nowhere to go with him. Zach Hockey's got to come in with a strike now, and now Riley Terada should have his hitting shoes on. But he'll call timeout first. Need to do some glove work. Again, bases loaded, 1 out. Top half of the second inning. And a 3-2 count to the hitter. Over for a called strike 3. Told you he should have had his hitting shoes on.
Yeah, strikeout number 2 for Hockey, out number 2 as well. Big second out. And I had a good spot inside corner against the righty Terada and gets that second out. Now you got to try and limit the damage and keep it to just 1 in the inning.
Top of the order, and Alan Roden will bat. Roden grounded out to second base his first time up. So Hockey looking to get out and limit the damage right now. Roden swings at the first pitch and fouls it down the first baseline. Rainer Nunez at third base, he doubled. Andre Sosa at second, he singled. Michael Turconi at first, he walked. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And a no balls and 1 strike count to Alan Roden. Holds the bat way up high before the pitch comes. And then takes one up high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Beats another one foul. So now Hockey has himself ahead in the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alan Roden, the number 7 prospect in the Toronto Blue Jays organization, promoted from Vancouver on July the 17th to play for the Fisher Cats, and he's done well here in New Hampshire. Came in with a .311 batting average, 6 home runs and 22 RBIs after hitting .321 through the first half of the season at Vancouver. 1 ball and 2 strikes to him. And this one lifted down the third base line. Madison Stokes will chase it for a little while, but it's headed for the 67 club. And Roden stays alive at 1 and 2. So Hockey, a reset, come from the stretch. That's up high again. It's 2 and 2. Hockey fastball, slider, and change. Fastball, not an overpowering fastball at 93 to 95, but with pretty good movement. Considered the best of his 3 pitches. The change is also a good one. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one's again out, up and away, and now the count is full. So here we are again, same spot as we were with the last batter, Riley Terada. Nowhere to go, and a 3-2 count, and the base is loaded.
Runners are off and going too, so anything down on the grass scores at least 2.
Back through the middle and into center field. 1 run scores. Here comes Sosa around second. He'll score. Marcus Lee Sang airmails it all the way to home plate, and that allows the batter to move up to second base. So it's now 3-0 New Hampshire on top, and they still got 2 more men in scoring position.
Yeah, big single from Alan Roden. Single, and the runner advances to second on the throw. Interesting decision by Lee Sang to come up throwing home there. Second runner was well in. And then you allow that runner to get to second base. So you take that force off, and now in a single, 2 would score rather than 1. That's one you probably want to see go into the cutoff man.
So that'll bring up Devontae Brown. And he swings and misses at the first pitch, the off-speed pitch, the changeup from Hockey, and Brown way out in front of it. He struck out his first time up. Your point is spot on, Jake, because a base hit here scores 2 as opposed to 1 by allowing that throw to come in. Hockey trying to prevent that himself, but he misses outside. Now it's 1-1. 3 runs in on the inning, 4 hits for the Fisher Cats, and Hockey still not out of a jam with 2 on and 2 out. 1 ball and 1 strike to the hitter, Devontae Brown. Fouls that one back. Cue shot back towards the Phil's dugout. Count now 1-2. That one's way inside. An easy take for Devontae Brown. And now the count is 2-2. So a very smooth and easy first inning for Zach Hockey. New Hampshire has worked him hard here in the second. Pitch count now up to 41. And that one's up high again and again for the 3rd straight hitter now. He's at 3-2. This one tapped towards short. Casey Martin charges and makes the throw across the diamond in enough time to finally get the Fisher Cats retired, but not before they put 3 runs across. They do it on 4 hits, and they leave 2. After an inning and a half in Baseball Town, it's New Hampshire 3, Reading nothing.
Cornwall Manor is an active senior living community on a 190-acre wooded campus in Cornwall, Lebanon County. The community offers independence and opportunities for wellness and fitness, as well as educational and musical programs, and the peace of mind of having convenient health care on site. Cornwall Manor offers a range of residential choices from apartments to homes. Prospective residents are welcome to visit us for lunch and have a chance to learn more about the community. More information is available online at cornwallmanor.org. Cornwall Manor, celebrating 70 years of senior living.
Star City Boxing, located at 4760 Schuylkill Avenue in Reading, is a 501c3 non-profit boxing gym unlike any other. Our goal is not only to help you be fit, but to be the best outlet for our youth and community. We welcome anyone who wants to improve their way of life, be fit, and box competitively or non-competitively. We work with you to reach your goals in and out of the gym. Stop in and meet our stars today. Check us out and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for upcoming events and happenings. And visit our website today at starcityboxing.org for more information on how to join, volunteer with our youth, or support our efforts in the community. Star City Boxing is a proud continued 2023 Our Phil's Fiesta Friday partner.
The Reading Fightin Phillies are proud to partner with Berks County Mental Health and Disabilities Program. Together, we are striking out the stigma in order to raise community awareness about mental illness and suicide prevention with 3 simple words. Are you okay? The help is to begin a conversation to show Berks County that we care. Suicide hurts.
We head to the bottom of the second inning, and that's presented to you by Cornwall Manor, offering many choices for independent living residences, including 1- and 2-bedroom apartments and a wide range of house sizes in Cornwall, Pennsylvania, just outside of Lebanon. Phil's batting in the second. Ethan Wilson will lead it off. And they are trailing now by a score of 3-0. Ethan Wilson to be followed by Barron Radcliffe and Casey Martin for the Phils, as Ethan Wilson takes the first pitch from C.J. Van Eyck for a ball. Second one is lifted foul and out of play. Ethan Wilson did get 255 on the season, 16 home runs. Drove in his 55th RBI of the night last night, 1 for 8 in this series, with a double and 2 RBIs in the series. 1-1 pitch to him. He's outside for a ball. This one is lifted up down the third baseline. Riley Tirada will give it chase, but he'll run out of room. And that one will take a bounce. It's been a busy night in the in the Penn State Health 67 Club tonight for foul ball. That's the third one in there already, and we're only at the bottom of the second.
We're pacing for a lot.
And some nights it's the grandstands. Some nights it might be straight behind us. Never in the radio booth, but tonight it's the 67 Club that's been the busiest. 2-2 pitch. Outside ball 3. So like Sac hockey did a number of times in the last inning, C.J. Van Eyck now works a 3-2 count to the leadoff man here for the Phils in the second, Ethan Wilson. And that's ball 4.
Well, if you're going to work your way back in this ball game, you need base runners, and leadoff base runners are a great way to do that. Got a guy up here, Baron Ratcliffe, who crushed a home run last night, so he's swinging a good bat.
And he also walked 2 times last night, too, and I thought those were just as good of at bats in the sense of being patient after that long bomb. He hit 400-plus feet last night to straightaway right field, his 8th home run of the season. And he swings at this one and slaps it the other way, and that's going to be a base hit off the glove of Riley Terada. Ethan Wilson thought about taking it to third, but will lock it down at second, and that's a base hit for Ratcliffe and the first 2 men on board.
Yeah, that one was hit hard off the bat of Ratcliffe, 108 miles per hour towards a diving Terada. I mean, he got a glove on it for a second. I mean, maybe saved extra bases, but not really much you're going to do on that.
So that'll bring up Casey Martin, who could really look to snap out of a funk right now. Casey on this series 0 for 7, and 5 of those 7 outs have been by way of strikeout. Big chance to do something big here with the Phils down 3. The tying run at the plate now in Casey Martin. Nobody out here in the second. First pitch, swing and a miss. Was a problem last year for Casey Martin in terms of the strikeouts, but he did a much better job this year at Jersey Shore, cutting down on that strikeout volume. 0-1 pitch. This one is fisted foul, and he's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes.
And if you're Martin, the approach here is simple. You just want to stay on top of the baseball because he's a guy, he's at his best when he's swinging down on the ball, line drives towards the middle, working gap to gap, as opposed to trying to be a long fly ball hitter.
2 on, nobody out. Bottom half of the second inning. 0-2 to count to Casey Martin. That's up high, he lays off. Last year at Jersey Shore, Casey Martin had 182 strikeouts and had 101 strikeouts and hit just 181. He raised that batting average by over 100 points before his call up to Reading. Now on a 1-2 count. This one lined into center field, but it may hold up for Devontae Brown, and it does. But he hit it on the nose, but it's out number 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a good swing from Martin, but just happened to be right where the center fielder is, and Devontae Brown. So first out of the inning, I got another guy who's a little overdue also in Marcus Lee Sang.
Former teammate with Casey Martin at Jersey Shore, playing now in his 12th game since his call up from Jersey Shore. 1 for 4 last night with a double as he rocked one off the Redner's Event Center in right center field. Left-hander settles in. And he fists one foul and out of play.
And once again goes to our left.
Marcus Lee Sang, native of Maryland. Grew up, played his high school baseball just outside the city of Baltimore at Northern High School in Owings Mills, Maryland. Taps this one foul behind the plate, so he's quickly behind no balls and 2 strikes. Got a chance to spend some time in our pregame show tonight with one of their former teammates at Jersey Shore, Nick Ward, who's now, of course, part of the Reading Phils. Has the night off tonight. Great conversation with the local product from Westchester area. No balls and 2 strikes to Marcus Lee Sang. That's right down the middle for a called strike 3. That's 2 down.
Yeah, good pitch, good spot from C.J. Van Eyck. That's his first AA strikeout. And 2 straight outs after the back-to-back base runners. But here's a guy in Herbert Iser that hasn't played in a little bit, just came off the development list, but no better way to introduce yourselves than with a big base hit here.
When he has played, the most recent games that he has played, Herbert Iser has come up big with the stick. He's got 3 home runs on the season. Left-hander stands in, swings at the first pitch, one hopper right to the second baseman, Miguel Geraldo, and the Phils are done in the second. No runs, 1 hit, No errors and 2 left to the third when we come back to Baseball Town. 3-0 New Hampshire on top.
Cornwall Manor is an active senior living community on a 190-acre wooded campus in Cornwall, Lebanon County. The community offers independence and opportunities for wellness and fitness, as well as educational and musical programs, and the peace of mind of having convenient health care on site. Cornwall Manor offers a range of residential choices from apartments to homes. Prospective residents are welcome to visit us for lunch and have a chance to learn more about the community. More information is available online at cornwallmanor.org. Cornwall Manor, celebrating 70 years of senior living.
The Fightin Phils know who to call for trash and recycling services. A proven winner, JP Mascaro & Sons. The industry leader for over 50 years. Trust the familiar Mascaro Blue Elephant to provide dependable, quality service for your home or business. That's JP Mascaro & Sons, one of the top companies in its industry. Trash and recycling services for home, business, and industry. We are hiring and have open positions in Berks County. Check our website for open positions at jpmascaro.com or call 1-888-MASCARO. JP Mascaro & Sons, ready to serve you.
Every time you grab an ice-cold 20-ounce Pepsi, you'll find a Pepsi emoji on the side of the bottle. So while the Pepsi delivers this, the Pepsi emoji delivers this.
Welcome back to Baseball Town. The Reading Fightin Phils, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. We head to the third inning with the Fisher Cats on top by a score of 3-0. My name is Bob McCool, and I'm joined in the booth tonight by a special guest. Scott Oldhouse joins us. He is from Easy Does It. We were talking about this a moment ago. Tonight is Recovery Awareness Night tonight here at the ballpark. And Scott, before we get into some of the things I know you want to talk about with Easy Does It, I mentioned this because the starting pitcher tonight for the Phils is Zach Hockey. And you guys are part of having Chris Terrian here, who, of course, was a hockey player. But he had an unbelievably great story to tell about his recovery from alcohol addiction.
Absolutely, Bob. Yeah, Chris Terrian's a real champion for recovery. His personal journey as a hockey player and struggling with alcoholism and how he turned his life around by seeking out help and being there for his children and establishing a new pathway in life is amazing.
And what I find it to be so interesting is because obviously there's no such thing as a stereotype for addiction, and that's why I bring that up, because you're talking about a guy who was at the top of his game as a professional athlete, one of the best players at his position in hockey, playing for a great team, a guy who's a big dude. I mean, Chris Terrian's a big dude, a big, strong, strapping guy. Doesn't matter.
That's right, and it's ironic because your point is addiction, alcoholism, drug addiction impacts everybody. It does not discriminate. And we know also today is International Overdose Awareness Day, and so many families have lost loved ones to addiction overdose, right? And the other side of that coin is recovery is possible.
Right.
And EDI, Easy Does It, has been around Berks County since 1989 to help people improve the quality of their lives. When they're ready to make that change and seek out recovery from addiction, they can do that.
On the field, here's a little slow roller down the third baseline off the bat of Miguel Geraldo, and Madison Stokes will let that roll foul. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Geraldo, leading things off here in the third inning. Yeah, just a little bit more, if you would, about Easy Does It. I can't imagine the number of different types of programs and help type of situations that Easy Does It provides for those who are struggling.
Yeah, so, Bob, a lot of people know a familiar story of sending a loved one or helping a loved one get into detox or residential treatment, go to rehab for 28 days and then come back home. And what happens so often is people experience a relapse and they fall back into ways of getting around people, places, and things. What distinguishes Easy Does It from a residential treatment program like that is we offer a long-term program. So people get wraparound services and recovery support from people who have lived experience with recovery and can share in their journey and walk along with them every step of the way. So what we have is a long-term housing program, so people that need sober, supportive structure and a living environment that's not back with family members or back with someone who they have a dysfunctional relationship with, they need some time to heal, they can come live at EDI at our Byrne Township facility for a really long time if they want. And all the time they're there, we're going to provide them with recovery support services. We're going to help them get reacquainted with their family, reunify with their family, seeking out employment again, building up some life skills in their foundation in recovery, getting them connected with different 12-step programs, other pathways of recovery, medication-assisted treatment. So EDI is born out of the recovery community of Berks County. The founders of EDI, they bought a bar in downtown Reading on Walnut Street.
Right, correct.
Lancelot's Bar. The bartender left. He sold the business, and EDI created a safe space to have 12-step meetings and dances and different things. Well, that vision was expanded to build this unbelievable 30,000 square foot facility in Byrne Township where we can do all the services that we're now doing for up to 50 people can live there. And we have other services I could tell you about.
Yeah, and I've seen both of those facilities, and it's amazing how much bigger the one is, obviously, than the one that used to be in on Walnut Street in Reading. But I know one of the things right now, it's 2 down here for New Hampshire. So before this inning comes to an end, I'll just one or two other things I wanted to talk to you about, and that is a new service that you're providing. It's called EDI at Atonement. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we do have a new service in Wyomissing at Atonement Lutheran Church. There's a long-standing relationship. That church has supported the recovery community, much like EDI has. And in that community center, there are 12-step meetings throughout the week. EDI has opened an office in the basement. That's a big hit.
Yeah, it is. Will Robertson just lines one down the right field line. That's going to be in for an extra base hit. 2-out double for the Fisher Cats here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, so EDI at Atonement is basically offering free services to anybody on a non-residential basis. You can come on down to the community center at Atonement Lutheran Church in Wyomissing, and we'll offer you some support with whatever help you may need in your recovery.
So tell us a little bit why EDI and this Recovery Awareness Night, why does this marriage, if you will, with the Reading Phils make sense to you guys?
Hey, the Reading Phils have been part of this community for generations, right?
Right.
And so many families that come out to here are also involved in the recovery community. And here, as I said earlier, August 31st is International Overdose Awareness Day. It's the last day of August, leading into September, which is National Recovery Month. So the entire month of September, there'll be events throughout Berks County celebrating recovery. And the signature event that EDI does is called Sober Stock.
Right.
We've been doing that for 27 years.
Right.
And that's going to be on September 30th at our campus in Byrne Township.
Phenomenal stuff that you guys do. A wild pitch gets Robertson to third base. The batter right now is Rainier Nunez with 2 outs, runner at third base here for the Fisher Cats. And you guys are also one of the sponsors for tonight, and the fireworks that are here tonight. So from your perspective, because I don't know that people think of it this way when you're talking about recovery, it is a celebration. It is a reason to come out and enjoy a night at the ballpark and celebrate and watch some fireworks and have a good time. There are ways that you can have a good time and still live a life through recovery.
Having fun in recovery is critical. We need to learn how to have fun, how to get out. There's a year full of first encounters when you're a new person in recovery.
Right.
You might go on your first date, your first job interview, the first time you go to the Reading Phillies or the Philadelphia Eagles. And most places, most times, you're going to encounter some difficult situations.
Sure.
There's going to be alcohol there. There's going to be issues with family members or whatever. But you need to learn how to have fun. You need to learn how to take it easy.
Yeah. In the meantime, a walk surrendered to Rainier Nunez. So the Fisher Cats now have the runners at the corners with 2 outs here in this inning. Brings up Andre Sosa, who singled and scored a run for New Hampshire back in that 3-run second inning. Top half of the third, it's 3-0 New Hampshire on top. Zach Hockey working from the stretch, and big swing and no contact from Sosa. And I'll go back to where we started, Scott, and that's the conversation that Chris Terrian shared with a number of people here in the crowd before the game night. He talked about that. He specifically talked about his 2 birth dates, his actual God-given birth date and his birth date of when he went into recovery.
His anniversary, his recovery date, and Chris is a person in long-term recovery, and so am I. And I just want to put it out there too, like, not everybody's a one-hit miracle, right? It took me many years to get 1 year clean and sober.
Right.
And I've traveled a difficult path to where I've gotten today too. But hope is there, and help is there, and recovery is possible. And in fact, it's probable.
And in addition to which, it's also you may have failed at it once, but that doesn't mean it's not impossible.
That's
Just
right.
because you failed at it in one way, maybe whatever way you tried didn't work for whatever reason, try a different style. Try somebody else. Try Easy Does It if you tried somebody else before.
Yeah,
try something different, and maybe you'll find the magic potion.
We don't give up on cancer patients.
That's right.
We don't give up on people with diabetes.
Right.
And we're not going to give up on people that are struggling with substance use disorder either.
Yeah, hard to argue that point. That is a great point. Andre Sosa right now is in a 2-ball and 2-strike count. Again, 2 men on, 2 outs here in this top half of the third inning. And this one outside for a ball. And so, again, Zach Hockey runs a count full here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He has been walking the dangerous path throughout this baseball game with working some deep counts. And his pitch count is already at 64 with 2 outs here in this third inning. And he'll come with his 3-2 pitch. And that's beat fouled on the third base line. And Andre Sosa hanging on here at the plate for the Fisher Cats. Again, we're talking with Scott Althouse, who is the executive director of Easy Does It. And Scott, you just said something, and I don't want to just go by as a passing blow. You said that, and you're very open about it, just like Chris Terry was. Open and admitting to the fact of, hey, I'm not just here to preach. I've lived the life. And here's a slow roller to third, and Madison Stokes will make the play across the diamond, and Zach Hockey does indeed escape any further damage. That'll do it for the Fisher Cats in the third. Scott Althouse from Easy Does It, I thank you for your story, and I thank you for your forthrightness telling that story with us here on the Reading Fightin Phillies Radio Network. Thank you very much for all you're doing.
Thank you, Bob.
Appreciate it very much. We'll be back on the Reading Fightin Phillies Radio Network right after this.
Nursing home neglect is a serious problem. If you or a loved one has suffered from bed sores obtained in a nursing home or a fall down in a nursing home resulting in a fracture, our friends at Swartz Culleton can help. Call the attorneys at Swartz Culleton for a free consultation. Their phone number is 1-800-JUSTICE. That's 1-800-587-8423. Once again, call 1-800-JUSTICE today. Swartz Culleton is a proud sponsor of the Reading Fightin Phils.
Humane Pennsylvania is an innovative national leader in animal welfare with adoption centers, accredited nonprofit veterinarian hospitals, emergency animal rescue services, community pet assistance programs, and a free community dog park. At HPA, we are passionate about going the extra base to keep your pets healthy and happy at home with you. With a variety of services and different ways and times to access them and variable pricing, Humane Pennsylvania is here to provide your pets with exceptional care how, when, and where they need it. Visit humanepa.org for more information.
The Enersys Power Alley Pub features a 2.5-hour all-you-can-eat buffet, private bar with bartender, 2 rows of seats, bar stool seating, and 4 cafe tables. The pub provides your party a private area to enjoy the ball game away from other fans. The Enersys Power Alley Pub may accommodate groups of 40 to 60 people. Enjoy socializing with your group and watch the game with a unique vantage point.
On a throwback Thursday night with the Reading Phils are the Reading Keystones, wearing the white uniforms with the blue trim and the blue Keystone logo that has proved to be a very popular commodity in the Brentwood team store. Madison Stokes leading off for the Keystones and swings at the first pitch and a one-hopper, a big one-hopper, right back to the mound to C.J. Van Eyck, and 1 pitch and 1 out for the Phils here in this third inning, presented to you by Swartz Culleton PC, representing injury victims in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. If you've been injured, call 1-800-JUSTICE today. 1 down for the Phils, and Carlos De La Cruz, who got the Phils' first hit, 1 of 2 hits for the Phils on the night with a line drive single to right field, facing C.J. Van Eyck, making his Double-A debut for the Fisher Cats, and his first pitch to De La Cruz misses low and away for a ball 1.
Yeah, Van Eyck, aside from a couple of base hits, looked pretty solid. Lots of weak contact, just 1 strikeout tonight.
There's some strong contact. This one lined into center field, but Devontae Brown ranges over and hangs up enough for him to make the catch. A loud out off the bat of Carlos De La Cruz, but that's 2 down here in the third.
Yeah, ball was cranked by De La Cruz, 102 off the bat. You know, he's seeing the ball well right now and swinging a good bat. But Devontae Brown out in center. He certainly covers a lot of ground. First chance we're getting to see him play defense. He was a DH last night.
That brings Oliver Dunn to the plate. He swings at the first pitch, but comes up empty. Weren't sure how much we would see from Van Eyck. Again, as Jake said at the beginning of our broadcast tonight, coming off of Tommy John surgery last year and been pitching in rehab starts so far. But he's been pretty effective so far, and he is 1 out away from getting through 3 clean innings, depending on what Oliver Dunn could do at the plate. But now Dunn is buried in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Oliver flew out to left field his first time up. 0-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. Van Eyck thought it was strike 3. Our home plate umpire, Nick Mole, had a different idea. Evan Johnson is at first base. Kevin Manzuk is at third base for tonight's game. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Dunn. This one lifted straight up in the infield. Who's going to call for it? It's going to be the first baseman, Nunez, will call everybody off, and he'll catch it for the third and final out. Van Eyck was already in the dugout by the time that ball was caught, and now the Phils will head there to get their leather because they are done here in the third, going 1, 2, 3. 3 complete baseball town, and it's 3-0 New Hampshire on top.
Nursing home neglect is a serious problem. If you or a loved one has suffered from bed sores obtained in a nursing home or a fall down in a nursing home resulting in a fracture, our friends at Swartz-Culleton can help. Call the attorneys at Swartz-Culleton for a free consultation. Their phone number is 1-800-JUSTICE. That's 1-800-587-8423. Once again, call 1-800-JUSTICE today. Swartz-Culleton is a proud sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils.
Are you looking for a reliable food distributor to meet all your culinary needs? Look no further than our trusted team at Feaser's Food Distributors. For over 120 years, our products have been sourced from the best farms and suppliers, ensuring that you get the best ingredients for your restaurant or organization. From fresh produce to premium meats, Feaser's supplies everything but the appetite. Visit Feasers.com today to experience the difference in working with a top-tier, family-owned food distributor. Feaser's, your partner for success in the kitchen. Looking for a fast and hassle-free way to get your snacks and non-perishable groceries? Look no further than FeasersDirect.com. With just a few clicks, discover the convenience of having your culinary essentials ready for a pickup at our headquarters in Harrisburg.
The Reading Fightin' Phils are pleased to present you with their classic game program, all electronically. This program has information on the coaching staff, player roster, and front office staff. It also includes feature stories and alumni reports on all of your favorite guys who spent time in Baseball Town. Visit rphils.com/programs to check it out.
Fisher Cats have won the first 2 games of this series, and they lead here in the third as well as we head to the top of the fourth. My colleague Jake Starr will take over play-by-play.
Thank you very much, Bob. 3-0 Fisher Cats lead. Zach Hockey back out. The first pitch to Michael Turconi is sliced in the air towards left center. Ratcliffe, the left fielder, to his left. He's over, makes the call on the catch for 1 pitch and 1 out in this 4th inning.
So that's something that Zach Hockey could certainly use because he has run up his pitch counts over the course of the last 2 innings and working some deep counts.
9-man Riley Terrazza is the batter for New Hampshire. 1 out in the top of the 4th. Fisher Cats a 3-0 lead. Fightin' Phils looking to keep it at that and start to claw their way back. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back. It's 0-1. I guess it's a little counterintuitive if Reading would be the team doing the clawing, considering the fact that they are playing a team with Cat in their name. 0-1. Swung on, fly ball, shallow right. In Jalen Ortiz, outs Oliver Dunn. And the right footer Ortiz will make the call on the catch for out number 2. So like last inning, 2 quick outs for Zach Hockey. We'll see if he can get a 1-2-3 inning for the 2nd time tonight. So I guess it would be Reading wants to fight back.
That's
and
right.
should if
That's
New Hampshire was down, they would claw back.
Correct. That way you're keeping with the theme, if you will.
If it's Binghamton, you could say rumbling back.
Sure.
What would you say for the Sea Dogs? Barking
swimming back?
I guess
they are sea dogs.
They
They're
are
not really
sea dogs.
Barking dogs.
First pitch to Alan Roden upstairs for a ball 1-0. Well, I mean, what's a Fisher Cat?
It's some kind of a critter. It is an actual animal.
Well, I assume that as
but
much.
I'm not sure like what species it.
1-0. Trying to check his swing was Roden. They'll appeal to third, where the third base umpire Kevin Manzuk will say no swing. It's 2-0.
I think the idea is it looks like a cat, but it's not a cat. How's that?
And you know what a rumble pony originates from, right?
It is a carousel.
A carousel horse.
Because Binghamton is the carousel capital of the world.
Reading has not been to Binghamton yet this year. It's the only team on their schedule that they have not gone to. Of course, the season will finish in Binghamton from September 12th to the 17th. 3-0. That gets the inside corner for a called strike. It's 3-1. Rumble Ponies, of course, have been here twice already this year. Won both times in the series. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch. That misses inside, ball 4. So like last inning, after 2 quick outs, Zach Hockey allows a 2-out base runner. This time it's his 3rd walk of the night to Allen Roden, and that'll bring Devontae Brown to the plate.
And so you're getting into some dangerous territory right now for Zach Hockey because he's already up to 74 pitches with that walk. And that's why I said with those first 2 outs, he got the first 2 outs essentially on three pitches, and that's exactly what he needed. But to Jake's point, that walk changes the complexion a little bit. You're hard-pressed to believe he can get a whole lot further into this game with Hockey right now.
So over to first where Roden's back in safely. 5 for 7 in stolen bases he is this season. Gets his lead off first. This game number 34 with New Hampshire for Roden. Here's the pitch. Devontae Brown will take you outside 1-0. Brown playing in his second AA game, was caught up yesterday from High A Vancouver. Hit a double on the first pitch he saw last night, 1-0. That's inside 2-0. Certainly wasted no time introducing himself to AA baseball. In total was 1 for 3 with a double, walk, and a strikeout in New Hampshire's victory last night. 2-0. Swings and gets way under it. High fly ball, shallow left. Streaking in is Lee Sang, the center fielder, and a late break towards it. He'll make the catch, and that'll retire the side in the 4th. No runs, no hits. 1 left for the Fisher Cats. We're through 3.5. New Hampshire 3-0 lead on the Phillies Radio Network.
The Louisiana Swamplands. Out here, you're either lunch or you're enjoying it. Make sure you end up on top with the all-powerful lineup of Kia SUVs, like the Telluride, Sportage, and Sorento, equipped with available all-wheel drive, higher ground clearance, and the interior capacity to bring everything you need, so you'll always remain more than a gator's length ahead. Visit your local Kia dealer today to find your next adventure in our ever-capable lineup of SUVs. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
When the Reading Fightin' Phils get hungry, we turn to our team feed partners. Special thanks to Chick-fil-A, Pizza Como USA, Railroad House, Why Missing Restaurant and Bakery, Jersey Mike's Subs, Mimo's Italian Restaurant and Bakery, Subway, and Clean Eats for making sure the Fightin' Phils front office is never hungry on game day. Our staff enjoys delicious meals from our team feed partners. Don't take our word for it. Find out for yourself today.
The award-winning Reading Hospital Tower Health Pool Party provides an unforgettable night out with family and friends. Enjoy a baseball game while swimming in the 87-degree heated pool directly behind the right field home run wall. Plus 2.5 hours of all-you-can-eat buffet, photos, and autographs with the crazy hot dog vendor and the Fightin' Phils mascot band. Regular season tickets start at $33 per person for groups of 20 or more. Give us a call today at 610-370-BALL.
Bottom of the 4th inning, 3-0 New Hampshire has the lead over the Fightin' Phils. Middle third of the lineup due up. It'll start with Jalen Ortiz as CJ Van Eyck returns the mound for inning number 4 of work, and what's been a very impressive return from the injured list. First pitch to Ortiz. He'll take it on the inside corner. No balls and a strike to Jalen. Did our nightly pick a song between innings. The winning song, which you may have heard when we came back from break, was Renegade. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Down low 1-1. And was any Steelers fans listening or any Steelers fans in the house? I think that one might have brought some good juju to yourself. Renegade, of course, one of the big songs that they play at almost at Heinz Field, but Acrisure Stadium. Make sure I have that correct. The 1-1. Ortiz swings and misses 1-2. You kind of like it, the Rocky soundtrack at the Link. Third downs, big moments. They play Renegade to fire up the fans. They wave those big yellow terrible towels. 1-2. That's down low 2-2. Lil Pio to first. Evan Johnson says no swing. Matt Cuck, one of the members of the Phillies front office, a big Steelers fan, so if he's listening, I'm sure he's enjoying this part of the conversation. And, of course, NFL season starts
Not
1 week
from
away. Tonight. Pitch to Ortiz. That's inside 3-2. Chiefs and Lions open up the season at Arrowhead. Of course, the Chiefs, by winning the Super Bowl, get that season opener. I won't say who they beat in the Super Bowl. I'll kind of just leave it at that. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs to Jalen Ortiz. The pitch. That's outside, ball 4. So yes, NFL season is 1 week away. First Eagles game 10 days away. Sunday, September 10th, a 4:25 kick at New England. And we're just 2 days away from, college football started last week, but I think this
It doesn't
week,
really start for you, did it, Jake?
I wasn't going to bring up Penn State, but you just did.
Because, there are some college football teams, as you said, who have already got a game under their belt.
Wilson will line the first pitch foul into the Savage Auto Group dugout suite. 0-1. Week 0 was last week. Notre Dame and Navy played over in Ireland. I know USC with Heisman frontrunner Caleb Williams got underway out west. 0-1. Wilson takes 1-1. But of course, yes, on Saturday, Dan Dirt Douglas's and myself.
Oh, that's true.
Penn State Nittany Lions get underway at 7:30 against West Virginia. So about 48 hours from now, Penn State football is back. 1-1. Wilson takes down low 2-1.
Yeah, I know there better not be a rain delay at any point in time in Saturday night's game because the grounds crew may be slow to get back out because they're going to be watching that Penn State game. I guarantee you that.
I think I know what our wonderful groundskeeper Dan Dirt Douglas might be up to on Saturday night. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. It's my first time not being up there since graduating for a football game.
You're going to know what to do with yourself? You're going to be pacing this broadcast? You're going to be pacing
Bob,
this box?
I'm in the best place ever. I'm at
Absolutely
America's
you
Classic
are.
Ballpark.
I agree with you, but
nothing better.
I know what's running through your veins.
2-2, and see, the net wasn't there. That was coming right for
Yes,
us,
it
but he
was.
fouls it off the net. Yeah, I bleed blue and white.
I'm sure you do.
And Fightin' Phil's red.
And if you annoy me enough, we're going to find out what you bleed.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Ethan Wilson. No outs. Ortiz leads off first. Look, hopefully they perform the way we expect them to perform. The 2-2, Wilson swings and gets a piece of it foul. And by 9:30, 10 o'clock,
You'll be relaxing and just,
nice and relaxed.
enjoying yourself. By the way, since, we don't just entertain here in the radio booth, we educate as well. I'm going to fill you in right after this pitch to Ethan Wilson exactly about a Fisher cat.
2 balls.
Not the New Hampshire version.
2-2. Wilson cranks one in the air. Well, out towards right. Roden goes back, and see you later.
See, I knew to wait.
Ethan Wilson, a long 2-run home run, and the Fightin' Phils cutting the deficit. It's 3-2 on Wilson's 17th home run of the season. 349 feet, 105 miles per hour off the bat. And how appropriate. They play Zombie Nation, this song they play when Penn State scores a touchdown.
That is, by the way, the 4th home run that C.J. Van Eyck has given up in his now 6th start. So I was kind of waiting for that and waiting for somebody on this Phil's team to turn on something, and Ethan Wilson comes through. And with that, Cesar Martin will come and get his pitcher.
You know what? You teased it. I don't want to keep people waiting.
Okay.
There's a pitching change. Van Eyck's day is
no
done.
better time to do it?
So you know what?
All right.
No commercial. Bob, I'm going to give it over to you here and tell us what a Fisher cat is.
It's not a member of the feline family at all. In fact, it is the largest member of the weasel family. So to your point about clawing their way back in because they're cats, they're not. They're weasels.
So they're weaseling their way back in?
Well, that's what could be one way. But if a Fisher, as they call them, does come into your yard, using scare tactics is your best option. So make loud noises. What better place to say that? As clapping your hands or yelling at it is usually enough to drive it away. And so Ethan Wilson just drove C.J. Van Eyck away by making a loud noise with his baseball bat.
Well, that's usually a good idea. So Mason Fluharty will be the new arm for New Hampshire here in the bottom of the 4th inning, 3-2 ball game. And Van Eyck just 1 strikeout, which comes after back-to-back nights where Fisher Cats pitchers get double-digit strikeouts. You know what? It's a 1-run game. You're into the bullpen. A bullpen we kind of talked about before has struggled this year. You got to like where you're at.
Fluharty did pitch in Tuesday night's game, pitched an inning and a third, and actually pitched pretty well for New Hampshire. Did not give up a hit or a run, walked 1 and struck out 1. So the other flip side of that is the Phils did get a chance to see him pitch, And again, this bullpen has had some issues over the course of this season. So the Phils obviously right back in this now after the Wilson home run and a hot bat coming to the plate, Baron Radcliffe.
So Baron Radcliffe will dig in here against Mason Fluharty. We'll get you the final line here on Van Eyck just in a couple of moments. Went 3+ innings, gave up 2 runs. Gave up 3 hits in total. Walked a couple as well, and as we said, struck out 1. First pitch to Radcliffe misses outside for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. And you knew also coming off Tommy John surgery, the pitch count wasn't going to be incredibly high for Van Eyck either. Here's the pitch. Radcliffe shoots one straight up in the air. It'll go out of play foul, so 1-1. Baron Radcliffe is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled his first time up back in the second. Fluharty deals. That's up and in tight. It's 2 balls and a strike.
A good piece of the puzzle so far is that the Phils, having struck out 31 times total in the first 2 games of this series, have only struck out 1 time so far in this one.
The pitch. That's up at the top of the zone for a called strike. It's 2-2.
It was a pretty good pitch there by Fluharty, left-hander facing the left-hander in Radcliffe, and that had some late movement on it. I think Baron Radcliffe thought it was going to be up and in, but it did look like, from our vantage point anyhow, that it did actually break over and catch the inside corner. So that's just a good pitch by the lefty.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Baron Radcliffe. Still nobody away in the bottom of the 4th. 3-2 ball game. Here's the pitch. That's a curveball that dropped right in for a called strike 3. First strikeout for Fluharty since entering. Also closed the line real quick officially on Van Eyck. 3+ innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1.
You had to think that Fluharty, after the reaction he got from Radcliffe on that last pitch, was going to come back with something very similar, and he did, and he got Baron Radcliffe to take it for a called strike.
So here's Casey Martin. First pitch to him is outside for a ball. It's 1-0.
You can overcomplicate this game. You can simplify it, and that's just simplifying it. You got it. You got a guy once on that pitch. Who's to say you can't get him again? And it worked.
1-0. That's outside. 2-0. Just the second strikeout by the Phils tonight. We talked, as you said, the high amount of strikeouts so far in this series. Obviously, you want runs and hits, but just putting the ball in play more.
Right.
I mean, look, it's going to give you a chance. You can't. There's no chance when you don't make contact with the ball.
Just better at bats. There's no question about it.
Approach has been phenomenally better tonight.
Correct.
Two balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Martin under it, way up there in the air towards left. Will Robertson will track in the left fielder towards the line. He'll make the catch. That one was way up the elevator shaft. And that's out number 2 for Marcus Lee Sang.
Fly balls could be an adventure tonight in some ways. Robertson didn't have much trouble with that one. The last inning, Marcus Lee Sang was really bad on the air on a shallow fly ball to center field because the wind is blowing in from center field. So Marcus Lee Sang, thinking it was going to be somewhat of a routine fly ball, ended up having a sprint towards Casey Martin at shortstop to ultimately catch it.
First pitch of ball to Lee Sang, 1-0. 54-degree launch angle from Casey Martin on that last one. Well, I mean, it was Bob's complaining about today. I keep saying it's a great day weather-wise. Too cold, too windy. No, it's a great day. 1-0. 2-0, misses outside. I was talking to the skip Al Patrica earlier, and just dropping some stuff off in his office, and I'm like, all good? He's like, yeah, all good with you. I'm like, beautiful day for a ball game, and he said, you can say that again.
But Al thinks that about every day.
I mean, every day's a beautiful day at the ballpark.
Right.
2-0. Lee Sang tried to hold up on an outside pitch, but can't. It's 2-1.
Although, the native Venezuelan wasn't real crazy about some of the days we had in April.
See, here was fine.
Absolutely. It was the series in Portland that really got him.
They went to Portland in late April. Because I remember he came back, and I was like, how was it? And he was like, it was way too cold.
Yeah. I asked him if he was doing any real estate shopping while he was in Portland, Maine. He said, Bob, not even if they gave me one.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled straight back, 2-2. And I will say though, like, I mean, we've been working with Al now for what? Almost 6 months now.
Right.
There's not many, if any, better people in the sport of baseball than him.
That is correct. I have yet to find anybody who hasn't had a good word to say about him. And if I do find that person, I don't really want to talk to them.
Exactly.
Because obviously we just disagree.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
But each of his coaches have nothing but praise for him. Each and every one of the players who have come through here has had nothing but praise for him. And we've got a visit coming here.
I think it was a pitch clock violation on Fluharty.
I did not see that
I saw
signal. But Cesar Martin obviously did. He's coming out to argue.
Saw he touched his watch. It was 2-2 before.
But he's coming right to the crew chief, Evan Johnson, who's at first base. He didn't make the call. I mean, usually if you're going to argue, you go and you argue with the guy that made the call.
Unless it wasn't a timer violation. Not entirely sure what, or it was a late timeout. Now it's 3-2 on the scoreboard, so I think it was a timer violation.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw him touch his wrist,
Right.
which usually is the universal sign
Right.
for time.
Nick Mull just put up 3 balls, 2 strikes.
2 outs. 3-2 ball game. Reading trails, bottom 4. Marcus Lee sang the batter, no one on. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. Couple of strikeouts for Fluharty in the frame. Reading does get 2 runs on a hit. No errors and none left. We will go to the 5th. Our score, Reading 2, New Hampshire 3 on the Art Phil's Radio Network.
Join us as we celebrate Reading's Spanish and Latino culture during 12 Friday home games this season. The Savage 61 Fiesta Fridays presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, High Noon Sunsips, Catay Law Offices, Suburban Brewing Company, Carl's Cards and Collectibles, Humane Pennsylvania, Star City Boxing, Apis Services, Supportive Concepts, and Affordable Home Care. Fiesta Friday features special Los Luchadores de Reading uniforms, Hispanic and Latino food and music, and other culture elements throughout the ballpark. Get your tickets now by calling 610-370-BALL, online at rphils.com or at the Customers Bank ticket office. To honor the 275th anniversary of Reading, the Art Phils will play as the Reading Keystones on Thursdays and select Tuesdays in 2023. Tuesdays are brought to you by Coatesville VA Medical Center. Join us for 11 Keystone Throwback Thursdays thanks to Burke's Career and Technology Center, H&F Heating and Cooling, and Rip It Baseball Town Charities batting cages. Come celebrate the 275th anniversary of Reading and enjoy some great baseball on Throwback Thursdays in 2023. Get your tickets now by calling 610-370-BALL, online at rphils.com or at the Customers Bank ticket office.
Top half of the 5th inning, 3-2. New Hampshire has the lead. Reading got 2 back last inning thanks to an Ethan Wilson home run. Very happy to be joined now here in the booth as a part of our Recovery Awareness Night by Yvonne Stroman, a community programs specialist for the Council on Chemical Abuse. The first pitch is foul to Miguel Gerardo from Zach Hockey. But Yvonne, thank you so much for joining me tonight. How you doing? Enjoying the night at the ballpark?
How are you? Thanks for having us here tonight. This is great. Awesome.
And it's, a beautiful night at the ballpark. You really couldn't ask for a better evening. Great crowd. Weather is, in my opinion, perfect tonight, too.
Perfect weather tonight. It's like fair skies. People are in a really good mood. This is awesome.
So, kind of getting into it a little bit here, just tell us a little bit about the Council on Chemical Abuse.
So the Council on Chemical Abuse is Berks County's single county authority. Basically what that means is we are responsible for the administration of public dollars as it relates to prevention, intervention, treatment, and recovery for substance misuse and abuse.
1 ball and 2 strikes here to Miguel Gerardo, the leadoff hitter, working against Zach Hockey. As the ready comes set, he'll fire home. It's outside 2-2. So, Recovery Month coming up. Can you just tell us a little bit why that month is so important?
Yeah, so the month of September has been deemed as National Recovery Month by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. It's a federal recognition that substance use and misuse is a disease of the brain, and that people can and do get well when there is treatment that is available. We also kind of really try to educate the community. You know, the disease of addiction can be stigmatized. Some people think it's a moral issue, it's a choice, but the reality is, through research and science, we know that it's a disease of the brain. And so when we can educate and bring awareness to folks, there's an opportunity for people to access treatment and get well.
So Miguel Gerardo was down on strikes. The first pitch with 1 out to Damiano Parmigiani is down for a ball. And second pitch, a little excuse me swing, and somehow shoots about 15 rows up.
Yeah, people scurrying for that ball, too.
I don't think he meant to hit that one either. Ball and a strike here. Right now, that's great stuff. And with Recovery Month in September, what events do you and the Council on Chemical Abuse have planned to, kind of recognize that month?
Yeah, and I need to say that it's not just the Council on Chemical Abuse, but there are other organizations. There are all, treatment-oriented organizations as well as recovery organizations, recovery houses. We all get together, and annually we have what we call a recovery walk. So we'll walk in a different part of the city, recognizing and acknowledging that people do get well from the insidious disease of addiction. We'll walk from 8th and Oley, where our Addiction Resource Center is at the Rise Center, up to City Park, where we'll have a celebration. We're going to have music, food, fellowship, and just an opportunity to get together. Wow, that's popped up in the air.
Way up in the air. Oliver Dunn, the second baseman's over, and will make the catch.
He's out.
Out number 2. So you mentioned the Rise Center. Can you actually tell us a little bit more about the Rise Recovery Center?
Yeah, in 2019, we had opened up our first Addiction Resource Center. And it really is a resource for people to come and get information about access to treatment. They can come in and get a cup of coffee and talk about they're just getting out of treatment and they want to know how this recovery world works. They don't have access perhaps to support, and so we try to find them support through a recovery support specialist. We give them access to meetings and let them know where there's mutual aid support groups. We know that through getting help and through getting support that people have the better chance of maintaining long-term recovery. And so we provide different events, activities. Tomorrow we're having an ice cream social between 3:30 and 5 o'clock. It's called Sundays on Friday. Play on words right there, right? Come and make your own Sunday. Yeah,
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
Come and make your own Sunday and fellowship and just kind of relax, get a woosah moment, and really just enjoy and embrace recovery in a new fashion, a new style than what they're accustomed to.
2 balls and a strike to Will Robertson. 2 outs here in the 5th. Hockey's pitch is down in the zone. Tried to check his swing. Kevin Manzuk says no swing at third. So if you want to learn more about the Council on Chemical Abuse, where can you go? Is there a website, social media pages you can kind of point people to that are looking for more information?
Yeah, so the Council on Chemical Abuse website is Coca Berks, COCABERKS.org. That was a foul ball, by the way. And
she's coming for our job.
Hey, no. I like what I do. And so we do have social networking through is just cocaberks.org, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right? And check us out. We are there. People who can't afford their own out of pocket or through insurance, they can't afford treatment. That's where the public dollars come in. So we're really grateful that Berks County is supportive of people getting well and accessing treatment, and we're here to help.
Of course, tonight, Recovery Awareness Night at the Phillies game. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Well, Yvonne, figured some good luck, but Yvonne Stroman, Community Program Specialist for the Council on Chemical Abuse.
Pleasure speaking
Thank
with
you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the support, the Reading Phillies. You guys rock.
Through 4.5, 3-2 New Hampshire. Back after this on the Phillies Radio Network.
For top flight local jobs, go with who you know. JP Mascaro & Sons are a leading waste removal company. To meet today's employment and service demands, Mascaro is upgrading its already highly competitive employee wage and benefit package for drivers, collection crew helpers, and other positions. Call 888-MASCARO, MASCARO, for details. Work for an established local family business committed to its employees. Again, call 888-MASCARO today or apply online at www.jpmascaro.com.
Cornwall Manor is an active senior living community on a 190-acre wooded campus in Cornwall, Lebanon County. The community offers independence and opportunities for wellness and fitness, as well as educational and musical programs and the peace of mind of having convenient health care on site. Cornwall Manor offers a range of residential choices from apartments to homes. Prospective residents are welcome to visit us for lunch and have a chance to learn more about the community. More information is available online at cornwallmanor.org. Cornwall Manor, celebrating 70 years of senior living.
ROG Orthodontics is the proud official partner of the ROG Orthodontics Fightin Phil's Kids Club. Join today at Fightins.com to get your free ROG Orthodontics Kids Club t-shirt and visit FantasticSmiles.com for more information on why ROG Orthodontics is voted #1 in Berks and Monco. ROG Orthodontics and the Fightin Phils, two great hometown partners.
Bottom half of the 5th inning, 3-2 ball game. Reading still trails to New Hampshire. New arm on the bump for the Fisher Cats. Alejandro Moline will enter, Bob.
Right-hander, 22 years of age. And again, the Phils are back in this after that Ethan Wilson 2-run home run.
So Herbert Iser leads things off for the R Phils. 9-1-2. Due up for the Fightins here in the frame. Moline will deal to Iser, who will take strike number 1 up at the letters. It's 0-1. Iser is 0 for 1 tonight. Rounded out to the second baseman his first time up. The pitch, swing and a miss. It is 0-2. Alejandro Meleon is on the bump here. Right-handed pitcher has Iser down quickly in an 0-2 count. Iser, the lefty, catcher tonight. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, straight up, and it will go out of play, foul. Also a big thank you to Yvonne Stroman for joining us last inning from the Council on Chemical Abuse. Tonight as we celebrate Recovery Awareness Night here at the R Phils game. Chris Terrian, former Flyer, spoke earlier about his book and just about his whole journey on recovery. Takes outside for a ball 1 and 2, as had a chance to actually talk with Chris earlier today. You can check out that interview on our Facebook page and Instagram. About a nice 8-minute conversation with Terrian about just his whole journey through recovery to sobriety. Iser will swing and pop it straight up, and it's out of play. Count stays 1 and 2. And, you know, it's really inspiring to, hear a lot of the stories about people like Chris Terrian. You had Scott Althouse on earlier as well. He talked a little bit about it. A lot of people who, it's not one, when you're struggling with addiction, it's not something you should ever feel shameful of.
Well, yeah, that's why I brought that up with Scott about Chris Terrian. And
Iser is under it, fly ball shallow right. Out goes Miguel Gerardo, the second baseman, and he'll make the catch.
But just the thought process that it's not necessarily somebody who, in terms of a stereotype of what you might think of as somebody who's down and out, but Chris Terrian talked with a crowd here at the ballpark before tonight's game as all part of it. It was set up by both Council of Chemical Abuse and Easy Does It. And he's very open about his story and that he was a very successful hockey player, but he was drinking. And he was drinking while he was still playing in the NHL. And it wasn't until after he was done playing and his career ended that eventually he realized where he was and what he was and eventually found recovery.
Ball and no strikes to Madison Stokes as Meleon starts him off with a ball. The next pitch is over for a strike. It's 1-1. Another aspect that we talked about is that just the human aspect. Like, these guys, pro athletes and the players that we're watching here tonight, like, they're human beings.
Yep.
Everyone looks at these people like superhumans, like robots. As Stokes fouls it, it stays 1-2. But no, they're human beings. They have good days and bad days. They fight their own battles, externally that we see, but also a lot of internal battles that a lot of people don't know about. So it's certainly important to, keep in mind when we watch these games that, you might have a bad day at work. These guys, go through the same challenges that we do. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Madison Stokes. And I like how everyone's kind of said we're celebrating recovery awareness tonight because, the road to recovery, no matter whether you're 1 day sober or 20 years sober, it's something to be celebrated because, it just takes that first step, and it's a journey. And as you asked earlier tonight, here's the 2-2. It's inside 3-2. Maybe you try once and it doesn't go well, and you try again. The fact that you tried still gets celebrated because you want to keep motivating, you want to keep pushing to get better.
There's lots of help out there, and that was one of the things Chris Therrien talked about. That he said it. If there's ever a point where I can help you, let me know. I want to try and help you.
Stokes swings and misses, 2 outs in the inning here in the bottom of the 5th. 3-2 New Hampshire. And I think the thing is, too, it probably helps a lot of people when you see people you grew up watching that are professional athletes speak up on this because, they went through these issues that I might be going through, too. It's okay to seek help. If this someone who you view as superhuman or an athlete can go out and seek help, then anybody can. But it's all about the support at the end of the day. First pitch of De La Cruz is over for a called strike. It's 0-1. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. 3-2 New Hampshire leads. It's about 10 past 8 here on the East Coast. De La Cruz swings and misses. It's 0-2. Sun Foley's set, lights in full effect from America's Classic Ballpark.
Andrew Baker, by the way, is up in the Phil's bullpen, so likely to see him in the top half of the 6th.
And all in all, if hockey's night's done,
correct,
it's a solid 5 innings for him. A late time is called. Actually, no, it's another clock violation, this time on Meleon. That's the 2nd clock violation issued on New Hampshire pitching in as many innings.
Meleon is not a happy camper right now because of that. He was just beginning his windup, and time was called, and he ended up delivering the pitch.
De La Cruz back in, homer last night, his 22nd of the year. Here's the pitch. Little swing, and it's nubbed on into the general admission grandstands, which appear to be full tonight. Really nice crowd tonight, as they'll stick around for fireworks, post-game concert as well after the game. Like I said, really can't argue with how nice of a day it is at the ballpark. 1-2. De La Cruz will shoot one in the right field. That's a base hit. Roden over to cut it off. De La Cruz will coast in the first with his 2nd hit tonight. And number 126 on the year, and here comes Oliver Dunn.
And he's not that far away from a 3-for-3 night. The last time up, he hit a ball hard, but just hung up a little bit too much, and Devontae Brown was able to get it. That one a little bit more in on his fist, but Carlos still strong enough to serve it into right field. So both of his hits tonight, line drives the other way.
So here's Oliver Dunn. Oliver Dunn is 0 for 2 tonight. Swings and misses at the first pitch. It's 0-1. Last day of August, and Dunn's looking to cap off what's been a pretty good month. Entered tonight hitting .301, 10 home runs, 29 RBI in August. His home run and RBI are tied with Somerset's Ben Rice for the most in the Eastern League. Here's the 0-1. That's down low. It's 1-1. Dunn this month has thrusted himself into pretty much every possible leaderboard for every possible offensive category in the Eastern League. 2nd in on-base percentage, 2nd in OPS. He has the active lead in RBIs, 4th in home runs. And he'll step off and throw over as De La Cruz will slide back in. Or I guess when you're 6'9", kind of just have to fall down into the bag and
absolutely
you get back in safely.
Yeah.
1 ball and a strike and 2 outs to Oliver Dunn. Reading trails by 1. The pitch. Dunn will swing and dribble it foul off the facing of the Arphils dugout. It's 1-2. Dunn a little quiet the last week or so. Just 1 for 9 so far this week. Has walked a couple of times. And he's down to the count, 1-2 strikes with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Oliver Dunn goes down on strikes. And that'll retire the side in the 5th. Pair of strikeouts from Meleon in the frame. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We'll go to the 6th. New Hampshire up by 1 on the Arphils Radio Network.
Cornwall Manor is an active senior living community on a 190-acre wooded campus in Cornwall, Lebanon County. The community offers independence and opportunities for wellness and fitness, as well as educational and musical programs, and the peace of mind of having convenient health care on site. Cornwall Manor offers a range of residential choices from apartments to homes. Prospective residents are welcome to visit us for lunch and have a chance to learn more about the community. More information is available online at cornwallmanor.org. Cornwall Manor, celebrating 70 years of senior living.
Our Phils fans can continue to expect great performances all season long on the Burke's Commercial Roofing stage. It's the home of great local talent, including the Our Phils mascot band. Burke's Commercial Roofing prides itself on being a locally owned and operated company that puts an emphasis on customer service. They provide free on-site estimates and can handle any size repair, restoration, or replacement. Visit burkscommercialroofing.com or call 610-717-3949 for more information. And don't forget to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show at the Burke's Commercial Roofing stage at America's Classic Ballpark.
To enjoy a perfectly crafted 1893 from the makers of Pepsi Cola, you must first appreciate its carefully selected ingredients. A dash of cola nut extract, a hint of real sugar, a splash of sparkling water, and a generous amount of attractive spokesperson. Trust me, I'm gorgeous. Cheers to 1893 boldly blended colas, a delicious balancing act of premium ingredients from the makers of Pepsi Cola.
We go to the top of the sixth, 3-2 Fisher Cats, and we have a new arm on the mound for the Fightin' Phils. It's Andrew Baker. Baker pitching for the first time this week as the first pitch to Rainer Nunez is swung back foul 0-1. 36 game overall for Baker. 34 and a third innings pitch. 51 strikeouts, 31 walks for the 6'1", 190-pound righty from Montgomery, Alabama. Next pitch is outside 1-1. Not sure if you had a chance to catch it last week, but a member of our Phils team up here in the press box, Chris Duong, actually wrote a really, really nice feature on Baker. The next pitch is swung on, shot up in the air, right side of the infield, foul territory. De La Cruz goes over, he's out of room. Foul, it's 1-2. He had a chance to sit down with Baker a couple of weeks ago and turned a really nice story on him. Andrew Baker, when he was 11 years old, was struck in the side of the head by a line drive, knocked him out. He described it as felt very woozy, kind of nauseous, and all he remembers is getting hit and then immediately, waking up moments later with his dad's hands kind of on him, like, are you okay, are you okay? And, that was it for kind of that. Underwent a lot of surgeries, suffered some, brain damage as well, and obviously everything turned out to be okay for Baker as he gets a swing and a miss from Rainer Nunez. That's out number one. But when it was all kind of set and done after about a year of surgeries, Baker lost hearing in one of his ears. So he's deaf in one ear now. And at that point, he made the decision to switch from pitcher to catcher. So from the time he was 11, 12 years old until he went to college, he was a catcher. So now you fast forward now to say, you're 17, 18 years old at this point, and first pitch is over for a strike 0-1. He goes to college, Chipola Junior College, which is a JUCO located in the Panhandle in Florida, and his, head coach at Chipola, here's the 0-1. Upstairs for a ball 1-1, says to him, you throw hard, I like your stuff, I want to give you a chance to pitch. And at this point, Baker hadn't pitched in 6 years. Caught pretty much through high school down in Montgomery, Alabama. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Really good stuff from Baker early here. So he gets a chance to pitch. He has a pretty good first season in 2019. Transfers to Auburn on scholarship in 2020. And then once COVID hit, everyone kind of with that COVID year, you get that extra year of eligibility. You also get a free transfer. So Baker said, you know what? I'm going to go back to Chipola. Here's the pitch, swung on and grounded foul, and spent 2021 with Chipola. Had a strong year in 2019 with Chipola, had 7 saves, led the team in appearances, was actually drafted out after 2019 by the Dodgers. Didn't sign. Went to Auburn, back to Chipola, was 7-2, a 3.45 ERA. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 2 strikeouts.
2 outs for Baker. So I got 92 batters over 57 and a third innings pitched with Chipola. Ended up going to Cape Cod, played for Hyannis for a little bit. Phillies eventually drafted him in the 11th round in 2021 out of Chipola Junior College, and here he is now in Double-A. Features that electric high 90s fastball, a really nice off-speed pitch. First pitch of Turconi is down. Check this swing. They'll say no swing 1-0. So, really just a wild journey. A lot of adversity for Andrew Baker. Like you said, hit in the head, underwent surgeries, lost hearing in one of his ears, and here he is now. It's almost 10 years later, and now he's pitching in professional baseball. Next pitch misses down for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. So if you haven't had a chance to read it, it's on our website, rphils.com. Once again, great job by Chris Duong, one of our awesome press box staff members, currently now a junior at Temple University, for the awesome story on Andrew Baker. 2-0 misses upstairs. It's 3-0, and it's like we kind of say, the things away from the field that fans don't see, fans don't know about, and it's a very unique story for somebody like Andrew Baker. 3-0. That's up and away, ball 4. So after 2 quick strikeouts, Baker issues a 2-out walk, his first, and it puts a man on first for Tirada.
And there's no questioning the stuff that Andrew Baker possesses. Again, a fastball that's consistently upper 90s and often tops 100 miles an hour, coupling that with a really good breaking ball. But it has been what we're experiencing so far in this inning, that which Andrew Baker is it going to be, and he can be lights out one night and struggle another with some control issues.
First pitch of Tirada's upstairs, 1-0.
And he looks dynamic on the first 2 batters and strikes them out, but now a walk. And those are the situations. The walk and the long ball have had Andrew Baker's number over the course of the season, and I'm sure he'd be the first one to tell you that there's been less than a favorable season for him in 2023.
Next pitch upstairs, 2-0.
But there is still no questioning the power that exists in his right arm.
I mean, right there. The pitch clock reads 100 from Andrew Baker on that last pitch.
There's no doubt that he has the stuff.
2-0. Swing and a miss on a check swing and an off-speed pitch, 2-1. And I'll say I think Andrew Baker has big league quality stuff.
Correct.
And look, he's still incredibly young. Andrew Baker is. He's 23 years old. Drafted a couple of years ago, so still very young. And, look, we get towards the end of the season. A lot of these guys, big off seasons ahead of them as you kind of get into 2024 and you look to take that next step here in the Phillies organization. That's
well, you know what else that story tells you is there's a whole lot less wear and tear on his arm than there is on your atypical 22, 23-year-old pitcher, because he didn't pitch through high school where a lot of guys can get worn out.
Here's the pitch. That's a slider in for a strike, 2-2. And, of course, there's the perseverance aspect of it, too. You say, you have a year that maybe, the numbers don't show the best. I think there's been a lot of good flashes, without a doubt, for Baker this year. And just be a matter of kind of taking those flashes, bottling them up, and kind of using that to push you towards 2024. Next pitch outside, it's 3-2 with 2 outs, meaning Turconi will be off from first. 3-2 ball game, top of the 6th. Fisher Cats have the lead. They're looking for more. Baker looking to shut the door here in the top of the 6th. The righty comes ready at the belt. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and Andrew Baker strikes out the side in the 6th. No runs, no hits. 1 left for New Hampshire. Nice inning from Baker. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 3-2 Reading on the Phillies Radio Network.
The Reading Fightin Phillies are proud to partner with Berks County Mental Health and Disabilities Program. Together, we are striking out the stigma in order to raise community awareness about mental illness and suicide prevention with 3 simple words. Are you okay? The help is to begin a conversation to show Berks County that we care. Suicide hurts and affects everyone, but help is here. We will work together to help raise awareness about suicide and identify what we can do as a community to prevent it. People in need of assistance and support should call Crisis Intervention at 610-379-2007.
Spend some quality time with the family by taking them out to the ball game every Sunday home game at FirstEnergy Stadium. Sundays are Berks Packing Sunday Family Fun Days, presented by Golden Oaks Golf Club, PA Army National Guard, Culligan Water, Aspen Home Improvements, and Rip It Baseball Town Charities batting cages. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas for only $56 when purchased in advance. Join us for Burke's Packing Sunday Family Fun Days at all Sunday home games all season long at FirstEnergy Stadium.
Looking for the place to have the ultimate family fun at the Fightin' Phil's game? Look no further than Capital Blue Cross Funland. Capital Blue Cross Funland features the most exciting games and entertainment at the ballpark, including speed pitch, mini golf, ring toss and peach basket toss, mascot autograph booth, a bounce house, and the incredible giant inflatable slide. Bring your family to all the fun at their next Our Phil's game at Capital Blue Cross Funland.
Jalen Ortiz will lead things off in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 3-2 Fisher Cats lead. New Hampshire got their 3 in the 2nd. Reading got their 2 in the 4th. Ortiz digs in, 4-5-6-2 up, and the first pitch is down for a ball from Alejandro Meleon, and it's 1-0.
In the end, pretty good outing all totaled for Zach Hockey. 5 innings, 5 hits, gave up the 3 runs in that inning, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts.
1-0. Down low for a ball, it's 2-0.
It wasn't a stellar outing, but he got himself in some trouble in the 2nd inning and ultimately got out of it, got himself in some trouble in the 3rd. It built up his pitch count, but he got out of that trouble in the 3rd, so he really ultimately had the 1 bad inning.
Here's the question you have to ask yourself about any starting pitcher. When they leave the game, they give their team a chance to win?
Right.
If the answer is yes, all right, I'll take it. It's a good start. Ortiz will swing and foul it back. It's 2-1. Also have a big baseball head directly in front of us now. If
he stands up, you're done because you're not going to see anything.
I think it's the closest Screwball has gotten to us this season.
It has. It has.
2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Ortiz will serve it foul 2-2.
There's some people who come by this booth that we would prefer not to see, and there's some people who we prefer to see. That's all I'm going to say.
You know, the Fanatic visits T-Mac and Kruk a lot.
Yes, he does.
Why doesn't Screwball ever come visit us?
Just saying. Bucky the Beaver was up here earlier tonight.
Like, I went, in the booth. 2-2,
well,
and Ortiz will ground it foul left side. I don't know if he could fit, but I think it would be fun to.
Yeah, Screwball would have a tough time getting through that door. I'm just saying.
You know how the Fanatic comes in, spills popcorn on the guys?
Right.
I don't know how. I would take it well. How would you?
Absolutely.
If he
no
came
problem.
in and spilled popcorn all over you?
No, I don't have a problem with that. If he spilled something like soda all over me, I'd have a problem.
2-2, Ortiz swings and misses. He's down on strikes. 30K for
if he pulled a Bryson Stott or an Alec or a Brandon Marsh and dumped water on me, I'd have a problem.
What if they give you a snack like they always give the guys now? Phillies certainly having fun. There's no question about that. I don't know if you saw they wore overalls as they embarked for their plane out to Milwaukee today. Ethan Wilson will dig in. He homered his last time up. The first pitch is down. It's 1-0.
Rob Thompson was asked if he had a pair of those overalls, and he said he did. And they asked then the follow-up question, which is, will you wear them? And his response was, never.
1-0. Wilson, a softly hit ground ball left side. Charging Turconi, the shortstop, low throw, but it's dug out by the first baseman, Nunez, 2 gone. You know, I think if we asked our skipper that question, I think we would probably get a similar answer.
Yeah, it might not just be no. There might be other words involved in it.
Baron Ratcliffe will dig in. 1 for 2 so far tonight. A single, and he struck out looking his last time up in the 4th. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Reading trails by 1. It's 3-2. Here's the pitch. That's upstairs in the strike zone for a strike. It's 0-1. Ratcliffe, who homered last night, hit one that looked like it went on the Route 61. Was estimated at 409 feet. 0-1. Ratcliffe will swing and foul it back. It's 0-2. Overall, 8 home runs, 18 RBI for Ratcliffe this season. He's a .215 hitter with 2 outs, as is the situation here. Nobody on base. Here's the 0-2. Just outside, it's 1-2. Casey Martin, should Ratcliffe reach, awaits on deck for the lefty Baron Ratcliffe. They play him shaded over a bit to pull to the right side. 1-2. That's outside for a ball. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reading enters tonight a 12-12 record in the month of August. A win tonight would give them their first winning month of the 2023 season. 2-2. That one is served in the air out towards right. It's foul. And it's a great crowd on hand. It's a beautiful night, 70 degrees, clear skies here in Baseball Town.
No activity in the Phil's bullpen, so it does look like Andrew Baker will be back out for the 7th.
Baker, who worked an efficient 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Radcliffe cranks it in the air, out towards right. How far will this go? Over the Reading Hospital Tower Health Pool Pavilion, and this game is tied in a long way.
It's not often that you can tell by a foul ball that a player is pretty much on it, but you could see, even though Baron Radcliffe was fooled a little bit on an off-speed pitch, he still got a pretty good piece of it, and so he just made the adjustment, and over the last 2 nights, we have seen a whole lot better at-bats from Baron Radcliffe. In addition to the bomb he hit last night, he worked the count well for a couple of walks. He is swinging a much better bat.
Swing and a miss for strike number 1, the Martin.
And when he hits them.
and 427 feet.
So he topped last night by 20 feet.
113.5 miles per hour off the bat. I think that may have been on 61. Martin hits a number right side of the infield. That's going to be a tough play. And Casey Martin will have an infield hit. The throw gets thrown away, but Martin will stay at first. Probably an infield single.
Yeah, there was no way. Meleon was late to get over, and Casey Martin's got good speed. Once Nunez had to make the play, the first baseman, Casey Martin was going to be safe because Meleon was not going to beat Casey Martin to the bag. And New Hampshire is fortunate that there's not a whole lot of room over there on the first base bag, that the ball, once it hit, it quickly got to the fence, and Casey Martin couldn't move up. They are fortunate that it didn't turn into a single and an error, but it is a base hit for Casey Martin.
The home run was the 9th of the year for Baron Radcliffe, and man, he crushed it. He admired it, as he should. I mean, I asked this question last night about that one. If we're at Citizens Bank Park, where does that land? Does that get onto the second deck, you think? I mean, it cleared the pool pavilion. Lee Sang hits one in the air out towards right. It'll stay in the ballpark, and Roden makes the catch, and that'll end the inning in the 6th. But Reading gets a run on the Baron Radcliffe home run. They had 2 hits in total, no errors, and 1 left. We'll go to the 7th, 3-3 ball game on the Our Phil's Radio Network.
Are you looking for a reliable food distributor to meet all your culinary needs? Look no further than our trusted team at Feaser's Food Distributors. For over 120 years, our products have been sourced from the best farms and suppliers, ensuring that you get the best ingredients for your restaurant or organization. From fresh produce to premium meats, Feaser's supplies everything but the appetite. Visit Feasers.com today to experience the difference in working with a top-tier, family-owned food distributor. Feaser's, your partner for success in the kitchen. Looking for a fast and hassle-free way to get your snacks and non-perishable groceries? Look no further than FeasersDirect.com. With just a few clicks, discover the convenience of having your culinary essentials ready for a pickup at our headquarters in Harrisburg.
Empowering communities one relationship at a time is our commitment at Tompkins. Our customers have thrived thanks to our focus on local lending and their commitment to the customers they serve.
They do a great job. Everything for us, from our banking, our insurance, to our wealth management.
Tompkins has always been there for us.
We see a long relationship with Tompkins. They're good people.
Tompkins, banking, insurance, wealth. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Investment and insurance products are not FDIC insured, not bank guaranteed, and may lose value.
Be the first to know everything about your Red and Fightin' Phils by signing up for the Baseball Town Insider email newsletter. Once you become a Baseball Town Insider, you will receive breaking news about Fightin's promotions, including giveaways and guest appearances, special events, exclusive offers, and discounts on tickets and merchandise, just for being a Baseball Town Insider. Visit Fightins.com to sign up for this free email.
Top of the 7th, 3-3 ball game, new ball game. And because it's a new ball game, we'll toss things back over to Bob McCool, who will take you the rest of the way.
Let's go from a new ball game to an old announcer. That's what we'll do. And it is in the top of the 7th, the top of the order. 2 up for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. That is Alan Roden. And again, as we talked about in the bottom of the sixth, that Andrew Baker would be back out for the seventh. Baker faced 4 batters in the sixth, struck out 3 and walked 1. He gets ahead of Roland, no balls and a strike, comes back with the breaking ball. Roden tried to hold up his swing but did not. They appeal to third base umpire Kevin Manzuk, who says he did indeed go around. So it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Roden. He'll call timeout. Roden's been on base twice so far tonight, including a 2-run single. He drove in back in the second inning, and he also walked in the fourth. So he is officially 1 for 2 in the night with his 23rd and 24th RBIs of the season. 0-2 pitch. Misses outside. It's 1-2. 3 runs in the second for New Hampshire. 2 runs on a 2-run home run by Ethan Wilson in the fourth, and then the solo blast in the sixth for Barrett Radcliffe has us even at 3-3 as Roden fouls this one at the plate and stays alive at 1-2. Andrew Baker was the number 17 prospect in the Phillies organization before this season started, but with the struggles he's had this year, there's no doubt that he'll probably be out of the top 30. Here's a little fister into center field, but Casey Martin, the shortstop, will range behind the second base bag and make the catch for out number 1. Three runs on 5 hits so far for the Fisher Cats. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Phils. Both teams have left 5 men on base as Devontae Brown steps to the plate. Brown 0 for 3 on the night. And the first pitch from Andrew Baker is low and away for a ball. Phil's bullpen begins to stir. Fisher Cats' bullpen is still quiet, which would assume that Meleone will be back out for another inning for New Hampshire. 1 ball and no strikes to Devontae Brown. Make it 2 balls and no strikes as Baker misses that one way outside. Carlos Francisco up and beginning to get loose in the Phil's bullpen. Right-hander. 2-0 pitch. That's up high, and it's now 3-0. Baker making his 36th appearance. He's 0-5 with a 6.82 earned run average. 34 innings, 34 and a third innings to be exact. 51 strikeouts and 31 walks. That's been that number that's been his problem as he gets that one over for a called strike. So now it's 3-1. Phillies sent Andrew Baker on the development list down at Clearwater for a little while. I think nothing else, just to kind of get him a chance to clear his head a little bit, give himself a little bit of, make himself feel a little better about himself and work on some mechanics as well. And here he walks Devontae Brown. So the second walk surrendered by Baker. And if a 1-out base runner here in the 7th for Miguel Geraldo. And with that, Al Padrique will make the walk to the mound. So that will be it for Andrew Baker. So Carlos Francisco was not up long in the Phil's bullpen, but he is headed in. There is a pitching change in Baseball Town. We'll take a timeout, back with more on the Reading Fightin' Phils Radio Network.
Nursing home neglect is a serious problem. If you or a loved one has suffered from bed sores obtained in a nursing home or a fall down in a nursing home resulting in a fracture, our friends at Swartz Culleton can help. Call the attorneys at Swartz Culleton for a free consultation. Their phone number is 1-800-JUSTICE. That's 1-800-587-8423. Once again, call 1-800-JUSTICE today. Swartz Culleton is a proud sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils.
International Fireworks is the official fireworks provider of the R Phils. International Fireworks shoots every fireworks show throughout the season, including 8 Mega Blast fireworks shows. International Fireworks also provides the pregame fireworks after the national anthem at each game. International Fireworks has a nearby retail store in Douglasville, Pennsylvania, where you can purchase all of your fireworks. Visit fireworksareus.com for more information about the International Fireworks retail store in Douglasville. Thanks again to International Fireworks, the official fireworks provider of the R Phils.
There's a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience filled with family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 21st through the 24th for the induction of Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland as the class of 2023. Visit baseballhall.org today for the entire schedule. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
The Alvernia University Golden Wolves call to the bullpen will bring in right-hander Carlos Francisco for the Fightins. Francisco making his second appearance in this series. He also pitched in Tuesday night's series opener, pitched 2 innings. Gave up a run, but also struck out 5. 24-year-old right-hander comes in here in the 7th with a man on first base and 1 out. And right-handed bat of Miguel Geraldo at the plate. Geraldo 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts, and the first pitch from Francisco is inside for a ball. 3-3 ball game, top half of the 7th inning. Fisher Cats have a man on first base, as I said, and 1 out. And the 3-hole hitter Miguel Geraldo at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Devontae Brown takes his lead off of first, and Francisco again misses inside. It's 2-0. Brown with good speed at first base. Again, just playing in his second game since being called up from Vancouver. Francisco, of course, working from the stretch, comes 2-0, and it's lined into center field. That's going to be a base hit. Marcus Lee Sang will cut it off and hold Devontae Brown at second base. So that's 2 on now and 1 out. And the dangerous Damiano Palmigiani coming to the plate now for the Fisher Cats. Palmigiani with a solo home run for New Hampshire back in the second. That was the first run of that 3-run second inning, the only runs that New Hampshire has scored to this point. Palmigiani, who's now got 71 RBIs on the season to go along with his 19 home runs, steps up with 2 men on and 1 out. Francisco takes a look back at second, comes with his pitch that's outside for a ball. This one popped up down the first base line and followed running out of room. Herbert Iser and Carlos De La Cruz give it a chase, but it finds its way to the seats, and now the count is 1-1. Palmigiani 1 for 3 on the night with that home run, also grounded out and popped up in the infield. Zach Hockey started, went 5. Andrew Baker an inning and a third. Here we are with an out in the 7th, and Carlos Francisco trying to get out of any further trouble. Palmigiani started and stopped, and they say it's over for a called strike, and Palmigiani not real happy about it, but he's now behind the count at 1-2. Francisco, like so many others on this Fightins team now, began this season at Jersey Shore. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Palmigiani is retired on strikes. That is out number 2.
Big strikeout from Francisco, comes in and gives up that single, and then gets that strikeout. Good start for Francisco.
And he's got one more dangerous hitter now in Will Robertson. Robertson 1 for 3 on the night tonight. He has hit for the cycle in this series. Single, triple, and a home run coming in, and he doubled back into third. So he's got 4 hits in the series, 1 of each variety. First pitch, swings and fouls it off his foot. The left-hander fouling it off his front foot. And Francisco gets ahead of Will Robertson. No balls in a strike. Robertson with 48 RBIs on the season as he stands in with 2 men on and 2 outs. Phil's bullpen trying to hold the tide, hope the offense can win it. This one slapped to the right side. Dunn fields it, needs Francisco to cover, and he gets there just in time to get Will Robertson. Fine play by Oliver Dunn to save any further trouble in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 big ones left on base. 7th inning stretch time in Baseball Town. We're tied at 3.
Nursing home neglect is a serious problem. If you or a loved one has suffered from bed sores obtained in a nursing home or a fall down in a nursing home resulting in a fracture, our friends at Swartz Culleton can help. Call the attorneys at Swartz Culleton for a free consultation. Their phone number is 1-800-JUSTICE. That's 1-800-587-8423. Once again, call 1-800-JUSTICE today. Swartz Culleton is a proud sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils.
International Fireworks is the official fireworks provider of the Phils. International Fireworks shoots every fireworks show throughout the season, including 8 Mega Blast fireworks shows. International Fireworks also provides the pregame fireworks after the national anthem at each game. International Fireworks has a nearby retail store in Douglasville, Pennsylvania, where you can purchase all of your fireworks. Visit fireworksareus.com for more information about the International Fireworks retail store in Douglasville. Thanks again to International Fireworks, the official fireworks provider of the R-Phils.
There's a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience filled with family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 21st through the 24th for the induction of Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland as the class of 2023. Visit baseballhall.org today for the entire schedule. See you in Cooperstown, where the
We head to the 7th inning, presented to you by Swartz Colton PC. You can expect reliable and experienced attorneys who are committed to getting you justice after a serious personal injury. Alejandro Meleon still on the mound for the Fisher Cats. And he will face Herbert Iser, leading things off for the Fightins here in the bottom of the 7th inning in a 3-3 tie. The first pitch from Meleon to Herbert Iser is low and away for ball one. Iser 0 for 2 on the night. Ground out and an infield pop-up. And this one's outside. It's now 2-0. Dominic Pipkin up and loosening in the Phil's bullpen. Nice job by Carlos Francisco to get out of that 7th inning, and a great play by Oliver Dunn to finish it off defensively. And it's now 3 balls and no strikes to Herbert Iser, leading off here in the 7th. And he gets one right down the middle, make it 3 balls and 1 strike. This one fouled out of play. Meleon now in his 3rd inning of work. Came in to take over in the 5th inning. Bills have 3 hits against him, including a bomb and a half from Baron Radcliffe that tied the game up at 3-3 last inning. 3-1 pitch. Ripped down the right field line and hooking foul. And
jeez, nobody.
No one was protecting the pitcher, Dominic Pipkin. It didn't hit him, but he didn't know that. But it came whistling by him, and now he's asking his teammates, like, yo, don't you got my back? So it's now 3-2. Iser drives this one to right center field. Alan Roden will get there and squeeze it to his right for out number 1.
So now Keelan Kilgore will be his personal protector.
Yeah, again, it went past Pipkin and landed about 5 feet to his right, but he didn't know that until he heard it hit the ground and the delayed reaction, and then turned and said, hey, somebody get my back. So that'll bring the top of the order in Madison Stokes to the plate. Madison 0 for 3 so far on the night. First pitch to him is way inside. Carlos De La Cruz in the on-deck circle for the Fightins. Stokes takes another one inside. It's 2-0. So he fell behind Iser 3-0. Came back to get him out. Now falls behind Madison Stokes, 2 balls and no strikes. Meleon at 46 pitches since coming in. That one's inside again. So 3 straight out of the zone now to Madison Stokes. Meleon has not walked a batter so far. And he comes right back again like he did with Iser and throws one right down the middle to make it 3-1. So we've got a pattern going on here in the 7th. And that's over for a called strike 2. So he got the count full now to Madison Stokes. This one tapped to 3rd. Terada comes in and will make the play. Off balance throw in time to get Madison Stokes at first base for 2 outs. And now we'll bring up Carlos De La Cruz. De La Cruz has hit it hard 3 times. He's got 2 singles. 2 for 3 on the night. Also drove one to center field. that held up for Devontae Brown to catch back in the third inning. So a 2-for-3 night so far for the guy who's got more hits in the Eastern League than anyone, and Carlos De La Cruz now 127 in that column. This one, make it 128 as he lines this one down the third base line and into the corner. De La Cruz will roll into second base with a 2-out stand-up double.
How about a 3-hit night for Carlos De La Cruz? That will match a season high, 10th time that De La Cruz has had 3 hits in a game this year. That's also his 35th multi-hit game of the season as well.
Yeah, and the closest we've seen to him in a slump coming into the series. He was 2 for 19 on the road trip to Harrisburg, and the batting average fell below 270 for, I think, the first time all season. But seems as if he's resurrected that quickly. And with the home run last night and the 3 hits tonight, now the Phils will try to get him home with Oliver Dunn at the plate, who's 0 for 3 on the night. First pitch from Meleon is outside for a ball. Infield plays the left-handed hitting Oliver Dunn to pull. The outfield slightly the other way. Little cue shot off the end of his bat that is fouled on the third baseline. The crowd on hand tonight. Stick around for the fireworks after it's over with. More fireworks after tomorrow night's game. And then Saturday, well, you know what Saturday is. It's Mega Blast fireworks. Biggest fireworks show in stadium history. Saturday night here at the ballpark. 1-1 pitch to Dunn. Outside, ball 2. Phils and the Fisher Cats will wrap up this series on Sunday. 5:15 is our Sunday start time, and the Philly Fanatic will be here on Sunday. Tickets available at 610-370-BALL or rphils.com. 2-1 pitch. Tapped up the middle. Long range for Tirada. The second baseman and shortstop run into one another. De La Cruz has to hold up at third, but it'll be an infield single for Oliver Dunn.
Yeah, first of all, it's the fact that they fielded that ball is big because that saves a run. And smart base running by De La Cruz, and great job by third base coach Al Padrique holding De La Cruz, because Geraldo froze and knew not to go to first. If he throws at the first, they probably send De La Cruz. So they hold him, and now it's up to Jalen Ortiz.
2 on, 2 out. Tie ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. And the cleanup hitter, Jalen Ortiz, at the plate, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Did walk and score a run ahead of Ethan Wilson's home run back in the 4th inning. Little fister to the right side, and Geraldo knocks it down, but safe all around, and the Phils will take the lead. Jalen Ortiz with the RBI single.
An RBI single that was 60 miles per hour off the bat. Did he have one of those last week, too, against Somerset?
Yeah, he's had some bleeders on this year. He's hit some bombs, too, but he'll take that one. That's an RBI in the books.
And he's swinging a good bat, having good approaches at the plate. So, you know what? When you're hot, you get rewarded, and that's what happened right there. And here will come pitching coach Drew Hayes.
Yeah, there's no one up in the Fisher Cat bullpen. Again, Meleon has been out there for a while. He's over 50 pitches now on the night, 56 to be exact. This is his 3rd inning of work, so they're kind of letting him take one for the team a little bit here, and the Phils have finally put one across, and they've taken the lead for the first time now at 4-3, still not out of this inning with 2 on and 2 out, and Ethan Wilson due at the plate. Home plate umpire Nick Mull now is going to go out and break up the conversation. Still nobody getting up in the Fisher Cat bullpen. So the native Venezuelan Alejandro Meleon has created this jam for himself, and they're going to ask him to get it out of it. Meleon last year split time between Vancouver and here at New Hampshire. It pitched predominantly as a starter last year and has made a couple of starts for New Hampshire this year as well. So he is used to going a little bit longer. First pitch to Ethan Wilson is outside for a ball. Wilson 1 for 2 on the night, walked into second, the 2-run home run in the 4th, and a ground out to short in 3 plate appearances, and he's ahead 1 ball and no strikes. Lifted into right field, and it's going to be a long run in for Alan Roden, but the right fielder will get there for the third and final out. For the Phils in the seventh, they do get a run. They do it on 3 hits, and they leave 2. 7 complete. The Phils are on top 4-3 when we come back on the Reading Fightin' Phils Radio Network.
Nursing home neglect is a serious problem. If you or a loved one has suffered from bed sores obtained in a nursing home or a fall down in a nursing home resulting in a fracture, our friends at Swartz-Culleton can help. Call the attorneys at Swartz-Culleton for a free consultation. Their phone number is 1-800-JUSTICE. That's 1-800-587-8423. Once again, call 1-800-JUSTICE today. Swartz-Culleton is a proud sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that'll bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your visit today at baseballhall.org.
The Reading Fightin' Phil's birthday package is the best way to celebrate a birthday. Whether you're a youngster or an adult, there's no better birthday than a Fightin' Phil's birthday. The Fightin' Fan birthday package is customizable for fans of any age and starts at just $130. Base packages include 10 general admission tickets to a Fightin's home game, an autographed baseball, and a VIP reserved parking spot. Fans can also add a wide variety of experiences and options to make sure your favorite Fightin's fan's birthday is a grand slam.
Jersey Mike's Subs always offers a sub above, providing their customers with delicious sustenance and substance, including both warm and cold subs. Jersey Mike's prides itself on fresh baked bread, fresh sliced meats, and fresh grilled sandwiches with 2 convenient Berks County locations, including the 5th Street Highway in Reading and Broadcasting Square in Wyomissing. Jersey Mike's Subs is your home for flavorful subs with quality local ingredients. Order today at jerseymikes.com. Jersey Mike's Subs is a proud 2023 Fightin' Phil's team feed partner. Dominic Pipkin is the new pitcher for the Fightins. Right-hander is the Alberta University Golden Wolves call to the bullpen, and the 4th pitcher of the night for the Phils, and he will face Rainer Nunez leading off, and misses up and in with the first pitch, backing Nunez off the plate. And Nunez responds by lining the next one into center field, but hangs up for Marcus Lee Sang, who makes the catch knee-high in center field for out number 1.
Ball was hit on the nose, but like you said, right to Lee Sang, who makes the play in center.
Dominic Pipkin making his 16th appearance with the Phils, 1-2 with a 3.86 earned run average, 16 and a third innings pitch, 18 strikeouts, 7 walks. Now facing Andres Sosa, who's 1 for 3 on the night, singled and scored a run back in the 2nd inning. The first pitch from Pipkin is up and away for a ball. Right-hander back quickly with a 1-0 pitch that's over for a called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sosa, to be followed by Michael Turconi in the Fisher Cat lineup here in the 8th, with the Phils now on top 4-3. On 1 pitch is low for a ball. It's 2-1. And that one's over for a called strike 2, so Pipkin has worked the count back to a 2 balls and 2 strike count. And now Sosa will call timeout, as most guys do once they get to 2 strikes. Jake Starr was all over that stat very early in this season.
Maybe in the offseason I'll go back and watch every single game and calculate how often it happens.
And that is just a bit off. The Phils thought it might have been strike 3, but instead it's ball 3. So the count now full to Andres Sosa. This one popped up in foul territory. De La Cruz will call for it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Pipkin was over there. Iser was over there. And De La Cruz said, "Get out of here, it's mine." And then he makes the catch for the 2nd out. Iser should have been there. Pipkin, unless he's just there to be a traffic controller, should have been nothing more than a witness. But the out is recorded. I'll bring up Michael Turconi, who is officially 0 for 1 on the night, did walk twice. So he's been on base a number of times in this series. He got 3 hits so far in the 3 games. A single, a double, and a home run, and now 2 walks tonight. And now he is quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes from Dominic Pipkin. Pipkin, the 23-year-old, California native, with the Phillies drafted out of high school in 2018 in the 9th round. He's on the disabled list through the beginning of this season. 0-2 pitch is up high for a ball. Pipkin spent last year at Jersey Shore, 30 games for the Blue Claws. He started 13 of those 30. He's 4-7 with a 5.01 earned run average. This one lined into left field, and Turcone's on base again. The 8-hole hitter on base for the 3rd time tonight with the 7th base hit of tonight's ball game for New Hampshire. And he represents the tying run for the Fisher Cats if Riley Tirada and company can get him around. Tirada steps to the plate 0 for 3 on the night. Turcone, nice size lead off of first. Pitch to the plate, up and in. Turcone has just one stolen base in his time with New Hampshire. Like Orion Kirkering now getting up in the Phil's bullpen. As that one's fouled at the plate. I would imagine that Al Padrique would like to hold Kirkering for the 9th. If Pip can get the final out here in the 8th. Man on first, 2 down. And a 1-ball and 1-strike count to Riley Tirada. That one's outside. It's now 2-1. Phils and the Cats back at it tomorrow night, 6:45. Left-hander Matt Osterberg to start for the Phils against right-handed pitcher Chad Dallas for New Hampshire. 2 balls and a strike to Tirada. That's over for a called strike 2. Tirada has struck out twice so far in his 3 plate appearances, and now he's spending some time talking with home plate umpire Nick Mull about that last pitch. Pipkin looking for the final strike to get out of this 8th inning. Tapped, fouled on the 3rd baseline. So Tirada stays alive. Tirada now 0 for 5 in this series. Played in Tuesday night's opener, won by the Fisher Cats 6-3. New Hampshire won last night's game by a 5-3 score. Phils lead tonight's game by a 4-3 difference. 2-2 to Tirada. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it for New Hampshire in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. To the bottom of the 8th, the Phils will look for some insurance. They lead at 4-3.
Baseball fans, introducing Bally Live, the only app where minor league baseball fans can score major rewards. When you stream your favorite teams live, you'll score rewards. When you chat with friends during a watch party, you'll score rewards. And when you test your skills at trivia, you'll score rewards. Being a fan of minor leagues has never been so rewarding. So what are you waiting for? Download Bally Live for free from the app or Play Store and start scoring rewards today.
Berks Immunization Coalition works to provide leadership and education in promoting age-appropriate immunization across the lifespan for all residents of Berks County. This is a coalition comprised of local physicians, nurse practitioners, school nurses, immunization coordinators, immunization advocates, and pharmaceutical representatives working to encourage continuity of immunization through medical resources. They focus on educating both the community and the providers. For more information, please visit www.immunizeba.org and click Local Coalitions.
Baseball Town Charities is a nonprofit 501c3 charitable organization founded to keep baseball alive in Reading. Youngsters can benefit from the many life lessons the game can offer. Baseball Town Charities currently supports kids and adults with mental and physical disabilities through the Baseball Dream League. Baseball Town Charities also supports inner-city baseball development through the Rip It for Life program, which provides growth both on and off the baseball field. For more information, please visit baseballtown.org.
The Alberta University Golden Wolves called the bullpen for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats will bring right-hander Joe Jones onto the mound for New Hampshire. Jones, a 6'5" right-hander, 28 years of age, was here in Baseball Town earlier this year, pitching as a member of the Portland Sea Dogs. And here he is pitching in the 8th inning, facing Baron Radcliffe. And the first pitch to Radcliffe, big swing and no contact. Radcliffe with the game-tying solo home run back in the 6th inning. The 420-foot bomb to right field. He's 2 for 3 on the night. His 9th home run of the season. 0-1 pitch, big swing, no contact, and he's quickly behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. And now Radcliffe will call timeout. So Jones, the 4th pitcher of the night for New Hampshire. 0-2 pitch is outside, ball 1. Jones was signed by the Red Sox before this season began. Pitched in 18 games for the Portland Sea Dogs, was 2-1 with a 3.79 earned run average, but was released on July the 31st and then signed 3 days later by Toronto. And here's an off-speed pitch that Radcliffe swings and misses, and that's 1 out here in the 8th inning. Let's bring up Casey Martin. Martin 1 for 3 on the night, got his first hit of this series his last time up. 1 for 3 with a couple of flyouts to go along with it. And fouls the first pitch out of play. And that one in the dirt. So it's now 1 ball and 1 strike to Casey Martin. Jones spent 2019 pitching for the York Revolution in the Atlantic League, independent
too far
baseball.
from here.
Correct. There's a big swing, no contact from Casey Martin. Then in 2021, obviously not playing in 2020 with a COVID year, 2021 he was with the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. And as I said, began this season with the Red Sox organization before being released on July 31st. There's a swing and a miss. And now he's got back-to-back strikeouts. So Joe Jones comes on, strikes out Baron Radcliffe, and now strikes out Casey Martin. And there's quickly 2 outs for the Phils here in this 8th inning. So the strikeouts considerably less tonight for the Phils coming into this inning. Had just 6 strikeouts, but now 8 in total. As Marcus Lee Sang will step to the plate. Lee Sang 0 for 3 so far on the night. Left-hander comes up empty on the first swing.
Quick look around the Eastern League. Portland fell tonight, so Reading a chance to gain a game on Portland. That would tie the teams up, and Binghamton did win, so Reading has to win to keep pace.
Here's one driven into center field. Back goes Devontae Brown, tracks back and makes the catch right before the warning track in the triangle and straightaway center field. And the Phils go 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. We'll head to the 9th. It's winning time for the Phils. They lead it 4-3.
White Star Tours and Travel Centers offers the Our Phils fan road trip again this season. It's your chance to hit the road with other Our Phils fans, see an Our Phils road game, meet with an Our Phils player, and also see an Iron Pigs and Phillies road game. The White Star Our Phils road trip visits Altoona, Toledo, and Cleveland from Thursday, July 20th until Sunday, July 23rd. See the Our Phils in Altoona Thursday, meet with an Our Phils player or coach, then head to Toledo Friday and Cleveland Saturday to see many former Fightins in action. The trip heads back to Reading on Sunday. Visit the customer service booth for more info on the White Star Our Phils fan road trip to Altoona, Toledo, and Cleveland. Space is very limited, so sign up today.
You can add a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet to any Reading Fightin' Phils game ticket for only $21. This selection includes barbecue chicken sandwiches, cheeseburgers, hamburgers, hot dogs, corn, pasta salad, baked beans, potato salad, chips, cookies, and so much more. Drinks feature all Pepsi products. Call the Fightins at 610-370-BALL Order online at rphillies.com or visit the Customers Bank ticket office at FirstEnergy Stadium.
The Alvernia University Golden Wolves call the bullpen for the Fightin' Phils. Will bring in the guy who has assumed the closer role for Al Padrique's 2023 Phils, Orion Kirkering, who has 3 saves for Reading since his promotion from Jersey Shore. Kirkering making his 16th appearance, 0-1 with a 3.0 earned run average, has 3 saves in 4 opportunities, 15 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts, and 5 walks. He will face the top of the order for the Fisher Cats here in the 9th inning. 4-3, Fightin's on top. They need 3 outs to pick up the first win in this series. Alan Roden 1 for 3 in the night. He did have a 2-run single back in the second, also walks. He's been on base twice in 4 plate appearances. First pitch from Orion Kirkering is outside for a ball. Kirkering, the 22-year-old right-hander who has skyrocketed in terms of the Phillies organization on the prospect list, began this season as the number 21 prospect. He'll be in the top 10 when the season is complete. And that's over for a called strike. Began the season in Clearwater, pitched 9 games for the Threshers, then was promoted to Jersey Shore, pitched in 18 games in Jersey Shore, and then promoted here to Reading on July the 6th, and he misses with his 3rd pitch to Alan Roden, so it's now 2 balls and a strike. A little fister towards 3rd. Madison Stokes has it, and the Phils have 1 out on a throw across the diamond. And Orion Kirkering gets that first big out. Kirkering with a fastball that's excellent at 96 to 98. The slider is above excellent. That's in the high 90s, and he also has a change that is not of the same quality of the fastball and the slider. As Devontae Brown now will bat, and he takes the first pitch inside for a ball. This one fouled out of play, and Kirkering has the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Kirkering 6'2", 205. Native of California, born in Huntington Beach, California, but plays college baseball at South Florida. Devontae Brown started and stopped. They'll appeal and say he went around. And so now it's 1-2 as Devontae Brown could not hold up on that nasty slider from Orion Kirkering. The right-handed hitter, Miguel Geraldo, in the on-deck circle. That one's up and in. 2-2. See if that doesn't set up the slider here for Kirkering with that up and in fastball. It is the slider, and Devontae Brown stays alive by fouling it away. New Hampshire got all 3 of their runs in the second. Phils with a 2 spot in the 4th, a solo 1 in the 6th, and 1 in more in the 7th. They lead at 4-3, and there's one inside now to Devontae Brown. He's got the count to full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kirkering wants to come in with something here. Don't want to put anybody on. Brown fouls it away. So he keeps himself alive and forces Kirkering to continue to throw strikes. You don't want to put the tying run on base by base on balls. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The nasty slider that Devontae Brown could not single up. And that's 2 down here in the 9th. So now it's up to Miguel Geraldo. Geraldo 1 for 4 on the night. Got a single his last time up. Hitting at 276 when the season began. 12 home runs and 52 RBIs. 2 for 13 now in the series with that last base hit. And the first pitch from Kirkering is the fastball on the outside corner, a great location, and 98 on the radar gun. It's 0-1. Little cue shot down the first base line and fair. Geraldo will be held at first, just out of the reach of a diving Carlos De La Cruz. I think Carlos might be a little bit upset with himself that he didn't get there. But it was at the right place at the right spot and time for Geraldo. That's a base hit And with that, the tying run now is on first base. And the dangerous Damiano Palmigiani comes to the plate. Palmigiani 1 for 4 in the night with his 19th home run. And swings at the first pitch and taps it fouled on the third baseline. 71st RBI of the season for Palmigiani as well on that solo home run back in the second inning. That one misses just outside. Palmigiani in the top 3 in RBIs in the Eastern League, in the top 6 in home runs. Those numbers I gave you, 19 home runs and 71 RBIs. 1 ball and 1 strike to him as he stands in. Fouls this one out of play. As Kirkering got that slider up in the kitchen a little bit of Palmigiani, and all he could do was foul out of play. So now the faithful here at FirstEnergy Stadium, 6,104 on their feet, trying to will the Phils on to the win tonight. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and they'll get what they're looking for as Ryan Kirkering will get Damiano Palmigiani on the strikeout, and the Phils will take home the W. For the Fisher Cats in the ninth, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. The Reading Fightin Phils 4, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats 3. We'll take a timeout and come back and wrap it up on the Fightin Phils Radio Network right after this. Unlike any other area in FirstEnergy Stadium, the Savage 61 Dugout Suite puts you in the closest seat to the action on the field. Located just a few feet from the diamond on the first base side with covered seating, abilities of motion accessible seating, and the most unique view around. Your group will thank you over and over again for this one-of-a-kind experience. Tickets for the Dugout Suite start at $27 and include options to add food and drink packages. The ProMax Fence Systems Foul Porch is an exclusive group experience. Located in our left field corner, groups of 20 to 30 people are treated to 2.5 hours of all-you-can-eat buffet and drinks. In a festive atmosphere with a bird's-eye view of the visiting bullpen, regular season tickets are $34 for groups of 20 or more. Call us today at 610-370-BALL to reserve a spot for your group.
The Penn State Health St. Joseph's 67 Club is the original hospitality area at FirstEnergy Stadium. Conveniently located along the third base side, the 67 Club gives you a front row seat to all the action at the hot corner. The area is safely protected from line drives with a large see-through net. Starting at $34, groups of 20 or more can enjoy a 2.5-hour all-you-can-eat buffet. Children 4 and under are free. Visit rphils.com or call us at 610-370-BALL to reserve your group outing today.
Welcome back to Baseball Town, where the Reading Fightin Phils get the win tonight, get the first win of this series. And they win it by a final score of 4-3, an entertaining ball game that goes the way of the home team, which has become, unfortunately, a rarity in these parts. As Phils with a struggling record at home, we have documented it before, but we'll give you the numbers. Cover the kids' ears because they're not pretty. The Phils do get the win tonight. They're now 20-38 on the home portion of the schedule. It defies logic what this team has done here at home, but they have done the job on the road where they're 34-29. And the Phils, again, still in the thick of things in the second half standings in the Northeast Division of the Eastern League. And tonight's win certainly helps the cause that much more as the Phils chasing the Portland Sea Dogs, who had the third spot, and the Binghamton Rumble Ponies, who had the second spot, because Somerset has the division. But again, Somerset won the first half title. So if they win the second half title, and they had a 3-game lead on Binghamton going into tonight's game. So if Somerset wins the second half, then the team that finishes in second place takes the second half playoff spot. And so that's what the Phils are shooting for if, in fact, they can now catch Binghamton. That's the team they are looking to catch if, in fact, they can get there. And, of course, the Phils will finish the season in Binghamton. They'll play Portland next week for 6 here at the ballpark and then finish up the season with 6 in Binghamton. So no other way to put it other than the fact that the Phils still do have themselves a puncher's chance in the Eastern League standings, but they've got to start taking care of business here at home, and they still have 3 games left in this series and then 6 more against Portland beginning on Tuesday. Jake gave you the scores a little while ago, but I'll remind you, Portland lost tonight to Somerset by a score of 5-2, and Binghamton won their game again tonight by a final score of 1-0. So Binghamton again with a win. So the Phils will gain a ground on Portland, but they will not gain any ground on Binghamton with the game tonight. So that gives you at least an update on the standings as things are in the Northeast Division of the Eastern League. How about tonight? How did things unfold? Well, I'm glad you asked because I'm about to tell you. The Phils fell behind in this one. It happened in the second inning with Zach Hockey on the mound for the Phils. Damiano Palmigiani led off the second inning and drove one out of here to left field for his 19th home run of the season. The solo home run put the Fisher Cats on top 1-0, but they were not done in the second inning. 1 out later, Rainier Nunez doubled. Andres Sosa then singled. They held Nunez at third base for first and third. After a walk to the 8-hole hitter, Michael Turcani, Zach Hockey got the 9-hole hitter, Raleigh Tirada, out on strikes. So it was first and third, 2 outs, and trying to get out of the jam, but Alan Roden comes up with a base hit that scores both Nunez and Sosa and made it a 3-0 game. Hockey got himself in some trouble again in the third, but worked out of it. And when it was all said and done, Zach Hockey with a quality start tonight in 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of them earned in that inning, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. So it was really only that second inning in which Zach Hockey gave up any runs to New Hampshire, and then he needed his team and his offense to come back for him, and they did beginning in the 4th inning. Jalen Ortiz led off the 4th with a walk, and then Ethan Wilson turned on a pitch and drove it into the Reading Hospital Tower Health pool deck in right field for his 17th home run of the season, his 56th and 57th RBI of the year, and the Phils were within 1 at 3-2 through 4. We got to the 6th, and with 2 outs in the 6th and Alejandro Maylin now in for New Hampshire, Baron Radcliffe swinging a much better bat, drove one out of here again tonight. And when I say out of here, I'm thinking not just out of the first fence, but maybe the brick wall that protects Center Avenue here outside the ballpark as well. 420-plus feet for Baron Radcliffe. So in the last 2 nights, Baron Radcliffe has hit 800-plus feet of home runs with a couple of 400-foot-plus bombs the last 2 nights. For Radcliffe, the one tonight, the solo home run was his 9th home run and his 19th RBI of the season. And more importantly, at that point in time, the Phils had tied it up after 6 innings at 3-3. And Carlos Francisco came in to relieve Andrew Baker in the 7th inning. Baker pitched a solid 6th inning, gave up a walk in the 7th after an out. Carlos Francisco came in, gave up a single, and then got the next 2 guys out. And then the Phils came to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning, and again started it with 2 outs. This time it was Carlos De La Cruz with a double down the left field line that rolled into the Fisher Cat bullpen. Carlos De La Cruz with his 24th double of the season, his 3rd hit of the night. Then Oliver Dunn followed him up with a single. It was a little seeing eye single through the middle that the shortstop, Michael Turconi, actually fielded in shallow center field. His second base counterpart, Miguel Gerardo, actually ran into Turconi. He had to hold on to the ball, had no play at first base on Dunn. So it was an infield single for Dunn, but it did allow Carlos De La Cruz to move up to third base, and that brought up the cleanup hitter, Jalen Ortiz, who hit a little cue shot off the end of his bat to the right side. Geraldo with a full-out dive knocked it down, but had no play. It was another infield single, but more importantly, Carlos De La Cruz came across with the run that put the Phils on top 4-3. RBI number 33 on the season for Jalen Ortiz, and the Phils led it by a score of 4-3 heading into the 8th inning. Dominic Pipkin came on in relief in the 8th inning, gave up a single with 2 outs, and that was it, and retired the last out. And then on came Orion Kirkering in the 9th. He gave up a single with 2 outs as well, but got the last man, Damiano Palmigiani, on a strikeout to end the ball game and give the Phils a much-needed win tonight here in this series. And so now New Hampshire has a 2-1 lead in the series. Again, tomorrow night back here at the ballpark, 6:45 is first pitch. 5 o'clock is when the Tompkins Plaza gates open up. And it'll be Matt Osterberg, the left-hander, on the mound for the Phils, and right-hander Chad Dallas on the mound for the Fisher Cats. Tonight, here at the ballpark, 6,104 enjoying baseball here in Baseball Town. That attendance figure brought to you by PSECU, proud to be one of the largest credit unions in Pennsylvania. So a lot more baseball left to be played here at FirstEnergy Stadium, but the clock is ticking. We're down now to 9 games left in the season. 3 more in this series, and then 6 beginning on Tuesday against Portland. If you want to come out this weekend, the Phils and the Fisher Cats will take you right up to the eve of Labor Day, Sunday, here at the ballpark. Tomorrow night, fireworks. Fireworks just getting started here tonight here at the ballpark. There'll be more fireworks after tomorrow night's game. Saturday night is a tribute to the 90s, including some Simpsons characters wandering around the ballpark on Saturday night. And, of course, it will end with Mega Blast Fireworks, the largest show in stadium history. The series will end on Sunday, 5:15 first pitch. The Phils and the Fisher Cats and the one and only Philly Fanatic will be here to entertain. Tickets at 610-370-BALL or order online at ourphils.com. Love to see you here at the ballpark before this series comes to an end. Series now, New Hampshire 2 and Reading 1. Carlos Francisco gets the win tonight for the Phils. He is now 4-2. Alejandro Meleon takes the loss. He is now 3-2. And Orion Kirkering now with his 4th save of the season for the Phils with his work in the 9th inning. Again, played in front of 6,104 here in Baseball Town in 2 hours and 32 minutes. 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 9 left on base for the Fisher Cats. 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors, and 7 left on base for the Phils. Reading now 26-28 on the season. New Hampshire falls to 21-30. Want to thank the folks who stopped by in the booth tonight on Recovery Awareness Night, both from Easy Does It and from the Council on Chemical Abuse. They're part of the sponsorship that helps bring the fans here at the ballpark the fireworks and some education as well. Hope you got a chance to hear some of that and hope you got a chance to appreciate some of that with the words that they had to say to the people here. And again, Chris Terrian, the former Philadelphia Flyer here, sharing his words and wisdom going through his recovery process over the course of the night as well. Also want to say thank you to Nick Ward, who was our guest on the pregame show, not in the lineup tonight, so he got a chance to spend some time with him in our pregame show, the Westchester native. Great young man, 27 years of old age, grew up as a Philadelphia Philly fan, but he confessed that his father never brought him here to Baseball Town until he wore a Reading Phils uniform. It's the first time he was ever here at this ballpark was as a player. He absolutely loves being a member of the Philadelphia Phillies organization. Dad's coming to see him play now, and he'll probably be back in the lineup tomorrow night and back here as well to enjoy his son play. And hope you'll come out and join us here in Baseball Town. Again, the Phils win it by a final score of 4-3. For my colleague in the broadcast booth, Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. Thank you, as always, for listening to Reading Fightin' Phils Baseball on the Reading Fightin' Phils Radio Network, and as always on the MILB TV as well. You can watch all of our home games. That will do it for our broadcast. Again, back at it tomorrow night. Hope to see you here at the ballpark. Phils win it by a final score of 4-3. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great night. See you here in Baseball Town.